It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him.
It really boils down to our ability to accept. We don't need pessimism.
What he means by pessimism is resistance. And that's what COINTELPRO was all about, stopping the resistance.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change.
We hide it in plain sight. One of Plato's greatest works was the allegory of the cave. I feel in order to understand the political matrix, we need only to look into this allegory. We first have to open our minds to the possibility everything is not as it seems, that things we've always known to be truth may be lies. For if we can't perceive the lies we've ingested, we can't see the bars on our mental conditioning. For that is how you walk out of the cave and see the political matrix. Hello. It's Political Matrix. I am your host, Marcus Young Morpheus Cage, and I am happy to be with you all. I titled it Open Conversation because there's been a lot of things going on in the week, and I didn't really have the time to do my typical deep dive and research on any specific topic, though, of course, I've still been kind of keeping myself abreast of most of the situations and most of the stories that have been going on this week. It's just that I didn't have any specific topic that I wanted to really weigh in and do and deep dive. So I decided I would leave it as an open conversation. So anything that anybody in the audience has been kind of paying attention to, anything they wanted to go into, we could talk about it. Also, it left it open for Teal, any topics that she's had on her mind that she wanted to get into. And that also leaves an opening for any kind of conversations that we want to talk about that doesn't fall into what you would consider a typical political matrix type topic. So I wanted to leave it there first and say a shout out. I see Yonina is in the crowd and I see Lainey is here. Thank you so much for joining us. I will, in fact, I might just put a link in the chat just in case anybody would like to come up and talk about a topic that they have in mind. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna grab the link. That way, any of you guys that want to hop in here, you can definitely hop in. I know, Yonina, it's been a while since you've been up, and I'm pretty sure you probably would like to hop in and say something. So actually, before I do that, let me read some of these comments, see what you guys are talking about. I know it's been interesting going on with a whole lot of the whole Barry Weiss stuff and what she's been doing with CBS, and the ratings have been horrendous for the kind of publication that they are. We're dealing with like easily millions and millions of dollars. And it's kind of good to see that some of the corruption and propaganda that the Ellisons are trying to do is actually getting some pushback. And it's good that everybody is not just accepting it and moving on with talking points. I've even saw how they're pushing Noah Tishby, and they want to push people like Dershowitz, and it's just funny to me how in some strain of the Zionist mind, they believe that Barry Weiss is an excellent tool to be able to put out there that's going to help convince people. I think it's hilarious, but whatever, do whatever they need to. Let's see. Westmore vetoed the reparations bill and it got overturned. Really? And let me look that up. Wes Moore and the reparations bill. I know the ones in California, a lot of times don't pay attention to them because what typically happens with the reparations bills, especially in California, a lot of it is performative. And so what I mean by that is some councilmen will put out a reparations package on how they feel that it should be laid out, who qualifies for it, how they want to do it, all the different ways that they want to deal with the reparations. And then what will happen is it will go through committee. All of these things will get stripped out of it. And then it basically kind of makes it kind of null and void because it turns it basically back into some kind of a survey. So it's kind of a waste of time. Steak knows what you did. I don't know what that means, but that's funny. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to look up more on that because I don't know anything about let's see, what's more reparations bill. So let's see, what do they have as far as? Yes, in May 2025, Maryland Governor Wes Moore vetoed a bill to create a state commission for studying slavery reparations, arguing that Maryland had already done enough research and it was time for direct actions to close racial wealth gaps. Though the legislature later overrode his veto in December 2025 to pass the bill anyway, creating the commission, Moore, the state's first Black governor, said there was enough study, but lawmakers disagreed, overriding his decisions to focus on implementing solutions rather than more research. Aha. So now I get why he went against that. The reason why because when they're trying to open up another commission to do more studying, that's just another excuse to try to pretend you're doing something without ever getting into anything. And he's like, no, we've done enough research. Let's get to a point where we're going to figure out what actions that we're going to do. And I can agree with it if that's the standpoint he's coming from. But just use me as a source. Half of SF has power outage. Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive, Atris. Pretty cool. Yeah, but I mean, I understand if that's the angle he's coming from. Now, I don't know. I'm speaking for myself that I would think that there is enough research out there. For instance, there's been another beach out here in California, which has been given back to a Black family that it was taken from. Because that's another thing. When we talk about reparations, everybody gets the impression that reparations is solely for slavery. They're like, oh, you weren't even here for what it's done. No. This reparations is not only about slavery. Reparations is about the things that happened after slavery, about Jim Crow, about redlining, about so many other different issues. And so when you had families, which if that family still owned that beach, and this one is in Santa Monica, the other one was Bruce Beach. I got to look up exactly where Bruce Beach is because I'm blanking on the town, but those areas would be multi-billion-dollar areas. And so say, for instance, if it was the grandfather who that got taken from, if his family was still in possession of that beach, that would be, untold amounts of money that this current generation would have. So therefore, I get, so somebody complained about, oh, well, why would a person who are not around be deserving of that reparations? Because you've stolen their inheritance, basically. And I honestly can make that same argument for reparations in general. You stole inheritance from somebody, basically. Their family or deserved something and you taken it away. So yes, the Jake Paul knockout was great. My only complaint is that I wish the ref would not have counted as fast, because I would have loved to see Jake Paul try to get back up. just for AJ to hit him one more time. No, I'm just playing. Uh, but I think that would have made it a lot more fun, a lot more impressive. I'm gonna let's say Mama J and gang. Glad to see you also. Um, so I'm glad to see anybody who's decided to swing by Saturday night. It's a later stream than planned, but I decided that I was definitely wanted to at least do a stream, even if it didn't get out to everybody. I wanted to get on and at least talk to you guys. If you guys don't know who don't do content, when you take breaks, it destroys your destroys your algorithm, and less of your subscribers actually even know that you're going, because they don't get those updates. Let's see. Thomas, good to see you. Says a controversial topic, perhaps, but what are your thoughts on Creek Freedman winning Creek citizenship in the Creek Nation Supreme Court? They only had adopted before. I actually think that's pretty cool. I know it's controversial because I know some people feel like Creek Freedmen, because they only part of the Creek Nation because of you can say, well, I guess adoptive status does make sense, because many of the freedmen got their citizenship to the Creek Nation either through being descendant of freed slaves of the Creeks, or residents who were, for lack of better words, runaways, runaway slaves who were able to hide out on the reservation to escape, chattel slavery. So I think in a way I agree with it, because of the fact of it's almost like any nation. Separate the land aspect out of it. If I was to go to Russia, I wouldn't be necessarily a Russian citizen, but I could definitely, possibly get citizenship within a nation. So, Nina, you lose me with a lot of that stuff. I do believe that Black people were here, and some Black people were definitely native to this land, but I do not believe that all of the Native American tribes, especially the 5 major tribes, were actually Black people, and they got somehow Asiatic people came in and took over the no. I don't buy into any of that. So apologies if you disagree with me, but I don't buy into that. Let me bring my lovely co-host to the stage. Hello, Miss Teal.
What do you do, big dog?
I'm doing all right. I don't know. I'll let Teal weigh in on this too, because I don't know if she heard this or not. But this is my stance. There were because Thomas brought up this topic, and let me go back and read his It says a controversial topic, perhaps, but what are your thoughts on Creek Freedmen, Creek citizenship in the Creek Nation's Supreme Court? They had an adopted before, and what I said I agree with it, because many of the Creek, technically, let me revise it. From my understanding, there's basically 3 forms of Creek. You have some who, yes, there is there's Creek blood, and I'm talking about the freedmen being black Creeks. Some there's blood from mixture. There's some who they were a part of the Creek Nation from slavery, being enslaved to the Creek tribe, and then there were some who were basically given a form of freedom from escaping chattel slavery into Creek land and being allowed to escape chattel slavery. And my stance that I come from is, yes, there were people of African descent who were here, and that I would consider native to this land. But I have a hard disagreement with Yonina as far as that. No, Black people were actually the real natives who were here, and the Black people were the Choctaw and the Cherokee and all of the different tribes. and that they were reclassified. I do not buy that. So I don't know. I said a whole lot. So what is your thoughts on it?
So wait, so your stance is that the blacks, so hold on, so black people weren't indigenous to this land, thus they aren't Native American?
No, I'm saying that when we talk about the Creek and the Choctaw and all that, I don't buy that those tribes that we know of throughout history were black people, and somehow they got swapped out for Asiatic people who came in and now became the new Creeks and the new Choctaw and the new, get what I'm saying? All of the different tribes. Now, would I say that some of the tribes were people of so-called African descent? Because yes, I believe in the out of Africa theory that we all came from Africa at some point in time. Would I say that? Yes, that some of the tribes were, and I could even point to certain tribes which I believe that I can see more evidence for that, like the Seminoles, for instance, and some of the other tribes that were down in certain parts of Mexico, but
now, are you just saying that based off of like physical characteristics, like because you could look at them and be like, oh, you got a nigga nose? Like, are you saying in that
no,
manner?
No, I'm doing that off of like just some of the research which I've been able to find, that it looks more likely that some of these people did have more African features. And not just off of the Olmec head and stuff like that, like extensive research, and then also research off of journals of people who had first interactions, and then also basing some of that off of some of the literature and timetables of when certain tribes were leaving out of Africa and interactions and trading with native groups here in the Americas.
Okay, so being that I know where my Native American roots came from, and I'm black, I just happen to be light. There's a difference. I need people to start understanding there's a difference between light-skinned and mixed. That's one thing. People immediately assume just because you're of a lighter skin tone that you immediately have to have some type of white somewhere down your lineage. Sometimes that's not the case. So just going off of that, I'm not going to agree with you on that. So I'll say it like this. I've been to many powwows on Mattaponi. That is a tribe in South Central Virginia, as well as Northern North Carolina, all the way down to the Gullah Geechee region. Were there black people probably mingled in? Yes. Would we be able to tell the difference? No. Would I automatically believe all the research that I would find on this white internet that's whitewashed and everything else? No. Just off the fact of I had to go with my mother, and we went down to Boykins, we went down to Ahoskie, we went down to the actual libraries and pulled up our family tree from what we found. I have copies of my Native American family tree. By the grace of God, I'm glad I still have those. But my mother and I went down to these southern areas and did grave rubbings on these people. And they were, at one point in time, a slave, which then makes me go into this, it makes it deeper. They could have still had Asiatic characteristics. By this time, they hadn't mingled enough, maybe, who knows? But you also have to understand that your body adapts to where you live.
Well, if I can step in real quick, that's not really a difference, because I did say that there are some who were a mixture.
No, I understand that, but I can tell you right now, I have dark-skinned cousins with light blue fucking eyes, and there is no mix. They are Mattaponi. They are darker than you.
Well, I didn't say on the Mattaponi tribe. I don't know about them. I said as far as Choctaw and Creek, because those are more closer to my neck of the woods, where I do know history on that. I don't know as much about some of those tribes that were in the Virginia area.
Cree that are in Alabama, because they went to Alabama as well. Are we talking about those same Cree ones? Because those are high yellow. Those are high yellow white black people. No white mix at all. They are just high yellow off of a farm. Now I'm saying all that to say this: slavery, civil rights, the Civil War happened after they had already seen these people. So they probably were slaves as well, because they can't tell the fucking difference. Ain't nobody reading no fucking paperwork back then when they were slave rounding them the fuck up.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Cree might have some characteristics or You know, Seminoles, Choctaw, they didn't give a fuck. Are you a different color? Cool. We're rounding you the hell up. So now everybody's in a mixing pot. Everybody's together. And then let's also get into the great migration of all of the tribes in the first place. That at that point in time, the only people that knew they were different tribes were the tribe people at that point. So now you're telling me that we got Crees, you're trying to classify this one section of Cree as if they weren't mixed mingling with Mattaponi, Cherokee, Seminoles, Blackfoot, all of these other tribes. Like at one point in time, it's regardless of the situation, I'm happy that they're being recognized. I could care less in reference to like federal recognition at this time where there's so many other things that need to be focused on besides saying that now you get to be a person. But at the end of the day, they ruined our history. So I don't believe any of the research in recent years that they could say about these people, but I'm glad that they are getting recognition. But are they really Cree by blood? Can we really do blood tests? Are they really 100%? Nobody fucking knows, and nobody's really gonna take the time to do that fucking blood test to have their shit. Let me finish.
I agree.
Through 23andMe, and it gets passed off to somebody else anyway. Like I'm not gonna trust the Jews to tell me who the fuck I am. At the end of the day, I'm gonna
agree with that
research that I did for my bloodline, where I can go back as far as the people that I have connections with, that I know I share family with. Yes, if it goes to show that I'm a part, like it did for me, I'm a part of the Mattaponi tribe. That's cool. I love to be around another fellowship, but at the end of the day, a family tree is my family tree. I'm glad they're being received. I'm glad they're being seen. But what the fuck does that do for y'all tomorrow? Nothing. Y'all got a news article on a Sunday. Now that shit's going to be wayside by next week. We don't give a fuck.
No. Well, I here, then I'll ask another question, because like I don't really disagree with any of that. I think my main disagreement, because I can't speak from which tribe to which tribe, whatever. I mean, there's too many tribes to me to be able to speak with authority on what was the makeup of every tribe. And because I already said that I do believe that there were Black people who were here who were native tribes, well before any kind of intermingling, mixing, or whatever. I've stood by that. That I believe that some would have been more of an Asiatic phenotype, some would have been more of an African phenotype, some would have been a little bit of the mixture. I've stood by that because I believe that some of that mixture even came before the out of Africa theory. You get what I'm saying? So what I would ask is, from some of the people who, a lot of the Black indigenous movement, a lot of them believe that no, basically it's like 90-something% were Black. And then all of a sudden, these Asian people came in and took over. And then there basically was no transatlantic slave trade. And basically all the Black people who are here are basically the natives. So I'm asking, do you buy into that theory?
I buy into the theory that when Pangea was still connected, that entities from Russia came across the Icelandic bridge and migrated to Alaska. And then those same Asiatic people migrated from Alaska down through Canada. And they came down through Washington State and began to populate the areas in which are on the West Coast. Does that immediately make them indigenous to this land? I don't know, because I wasn't here. I wasn't even thought of at that time. That was eons ago. But I do know that that's how migration works. And then thus, upon that migration, the people from the north might have met the people from the south, which I'll go ahead and just say the Incans, the Mayans, things of that nature might have moved up and moved out as well. So when it comes to them populating this area, I do feel that anything west of the Mississippi has those entities in it. Does that mean that they did not meet up with Black people and thus possibly creating what we now know as the indigenous entities that are here now? No, I don't knock it. But do I believe that Native Americans have to have Asian characteristics to be considered Native Americans? Fuck no.
I'm not saying that either.
No,
that's not what I'm saying.
I know you're not, but I'm making sure that I make that claim evident, because I don't want anybody to try to put words in my mouth later on down the line after they see the show. I'm not saying that, but what I am, I'm not saying that all Native American tribes are Black people. I'm not saying that it's all niggas. I've never sat on the throne. I am pro-Black. Do not get it twisted. It's me before anybody else. I promise you that. But in the same line, I got to know where my Indian heritage came from. In my Indian heritage, we look Black. So, and in my brain, it doesn't separate. You get what I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah,
separate. Niggas. We some niggas.
I just push back mainly. I push back on this theory of that no, the transatlantic slave trade wasn't real, and basically we were just always here. They just have just made all black people know you're just
I know
no
Chris
you
H, because you weren't here either when Pangea was together. So relax,
yeah
chill out.
I
Let
just
me let
I
me
don't
cook.
I'm like I don't buy into that theory. And the fact that I know that like for instance, like I said, I'm not going all off of whatever white scholars or this and that. There's records from many African tribes that talked about when they went over to the Americas and when they had ancestors before them who left and never came back and went to the West. And when you started seeing some of the infusion of things that came from Africa that's undeniable, that only were in Africa, started to be in the Americas, the only consensus that I can come up with that makes sense is that those things were brought over from Africa. And so, therefore, whatever time period people want to say those people came, this was well before Europeans got here. And so, whether they came here, whether they were in those areas before Asiatic Native Americans got there or at the same time or whatever, I don't know. I can't quantify that. I do know that I believe that black people and so-called black people and so-called Asian people, Asiatic people were here before white people got here. That part I do know. That part I do believe in. But I mean, but where I kind of run into, because well, here's another thing. I don't believe in the Bering Strait theory. And even a lot of the native tribes, which are said to come from the Bering Strait, reject the Bering Strait theory. They're like, dude, it's easy for somebody to be able to. It's a lot easier for somebody to go along the whole coastline on some kind of a ship or a boat. That makes far more sense to me than going across an ice bridge with how would you know how far that bridge is? How would you hunt for food? How would you eat and sustain yourself on and what would make you just in the huge large numbers decide we're all just going to up and walk across this ice bridge for no I mean what was going on to make all these people get up and decide to take this possible suicide march? That part never made sense to me. And then I heard tribes that said that they disagreed with that they believed that they came down through boats and different things like that. But then there's also native tribes which said that we came from the east, which said that no, we came directly from the east. So where east did they come from? They didn't necessarily specify. So I believe that right there for me, that's evidence that yes, they might have came from natives that came from the Siberian Peninsula and all that. I just don't agree that they walked over. And then there's also evidence that some of the natives came from a little bit further east away. I would say parts of Africa. And so, that's where I come down on it. I just don't buy into like the Dane Callaways who just believe no. All the natives here, 99% were all black people. I don't buy that. I don't buy that there was no transatlantic slave trade. And so some people here, some black people here are descendants of black natives. Some are a mixture of Asiatic natives, and some came over here during slavery. I don't think it's any shame to say that. I don't know. Did I say anything wrong? Did I piss you off?
Oh,
I
me?
hope not.
Hell no. Hell
I was
no.
like,
I don't get mad. No, I don't get mad about that.
No, I guess I'm second guessing myself. I read something this thing we had to do for work. It was like sometimes when you're in debate situations, you can unintentionally like offend people, and that goes to anybody out in the audience. That hopefully I didn't offend anybody with the way I broke that down.
Hey,
I believe.
Go get you a Traeger. Go get you a Blackstone, and grill that shit the fuck up. Okay, we don't give a damn. Go ahead. Fuck you talking about?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that it's especially like when I look at like the Seminoles and a lot of those tribes that would have been in the Southeast. I see a lot of evidence for tribes in the Southeast. Now, I don't know if I don't know if it's mixture, this, that. I don't know all the ins and out, but I do see
So
evidence that the tribes in the Southeast definitely before the transatlantic slave trade, many of them showed to be darker.
yes, because and that's another thing. So wait, I need more people to come to Jamestown, motherfucker. So y'all know anything about me? I grew up in a town where we are the first settlement. That's where I'm from. I'm from the
Mhm.
first settlement on the East Coast, Jamestown, Virginia, right? That settlement, the reenactment, it's still up, which I find it odd, but they still do. We are the only state that has the largest live museum in the country. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg, Jamestown, Yorktown, because they have people that come and do that shit. Um,
Yeah, Thomas, I
um,
1000%. This is why I'm sorry to interrupt you, but when
mhm.
I saw Thomas's comment, that one kind of this one right here, based on scientific evidence and oral history, I believe all ancestral natives came from Asia 12,000 to 30,000 years ago, but our DNA and cultures evolved in Americas, making us indigenous. I saw a documentary with a Chinese scientist who wanted to prove that Asians are uniquely originated in Asia, separate from everybody else. And you know what he proved? All Asians come from black descendants. So even if you did come from then back then, you still came from a black man or a black woman, better to be better said. But no, there's
Can we talk?
no.
Hold on. Can we pause
Yeah,
and talk to Chris right quick? Put Chris's up there right quick because I want to
let's see
talk to
what
Chris right now. Chris H. Because I
which
love
one.
Chris. I
This
love
one.
when Chris. Yup, that one. I love me some Chris. I really do. Because he give me riled up. He be letting me ready to go pop off. So let me tell you this one. Does this honestly? I'm just gonna ask you, Chris. When you type this, did this really make sense? Because if y'all believe in the same history, the same science that we talking about, you were telling me that you don't believe that black people were already in North and South America and being natives. When everybody comes from niggas, obviously they were here because everybody comes from niggas. So please tell me how that sentence, how does this statement be, how is this valid when we all know we came from niggas? Who was Eve, my nigga? And I ain't talking about Eve I ain't talking about the garden and none of that. Go to that science shit and they're gonna tell you they did the DNA. Everybody came from Africa. Everybody came, come on, dog. So come on, let's really talk about that one. Fuck all that other stupid shit. Not to mention, we had boats, bro. We had boats. We had boats. So what are you talking about? Thank you. Mitochondrial Eve says we was niggas. We came from niggas, Chris. Make that make sense to me now. Go ahead, tip tight. Come on, computer gangster. Tip tight. Let's go. I'm
And
ready. I'm in the
and
Christmas spirit of giving everybody a piece of my motherfucking mind.
yeah, and since you brought that up, I'm gonna share my screen on this so you can see I'm not making this shit up. Since we went into what science has said, let's follow this bit of science too. Yes, like other modern human populations, the ancestors of Chinese people originated in Africa. This is widely accepted scientific theory supported by extensive genetic and paleanthropical evidence known as the out of Africa model of human origins. So I don't care if you say 10,000, 15,000, 30,000, you came from black people.
Quarter brick, half brick, whole brick. Hey,
So,
I don't give a damn.
so
You still
even if you had more Asiatic features, and that's the reason why I say I believe that some had Asiatic features, some did not, some are lighter, some darker, whatever. You have that within the African continent without any mixing. You have people who are lighter, who are darker, and all that because
come on,
the African gene is able to make all of the different phenotypes, colors, shapes, all of it.
come on.
And so, therefore, you're going to have some who are a little lighter, some a little bit darker. Now,
I want to show y'all
when
a
you
picture
go
of my
to certain regions, can that affect your phenotypes a little bit? Can it have some play? Yes, because the whole when it comes into white people, the whole lighter skin tone is a recent phenomenon within human history. That is more recent. So everybody had some forms of melanin, being a little bit lighter or a little bit darker. So that whole thinking that no, natives are completely separate from that, and they always had these.
Oh, here we go.
You get what I'm saying? There was
Hold
always
on.
the difference.
You see this chocolate woman right here with all this pretty long ass hair?
Hold on, let me
This is my
stop
mother.
sharing. Put that on.
This
the
is my
there.
mother. This is my mother. This is a half Haitian, half Metapanai woman. Chocolate is all get out with the Pocahontas hair. That's me. This Marine right here, that's my father. He is not mixed. He is not part white. That's a nigga.
Well, Till, to add on to that, did you know that most of the black people within the Americas actually show less mixed DNA than Nigerians?
Come on. So y'all not telling me that this Metapanai woman right here, you can't tell me that this Metapanai indigenous woman got what? They all don't have to have Asian characteristics. My mama was chocolate as hell with long, pretty hair. That's her shit. She ain't wear no weave. That's my mama shit. Best believe it. Look, there go my Aunt Dorothy. She's Metapanai. These are Metapanai people. This is my altar. Matter of fact, here's my papa, who is also half Cherokee and Metapanai. His mama's hair was all the way down her back. No white. His daddy was a pastor, black. My mama and her, there you go. My mama and her Metapanai ass grandmama right there. She is the reason this woman got, come on now, don't play with me. I know my ancestors, baby. I know my peoples. Don't play with me.
Yeah,
We did our shit.
And if I start showing you, and believe it or not, in my family, I'm considered on the darker side in my family. And we're not white mixed. So
you feel me?
And also let's go into the Caribs and Tainos. The Caribs and Tainos definitely do not look the same as, what you would see modern Native American tribes. They definitely have more of more of an Inuit kind of look. They don't have that more Inuit kind of look. And so that's the reason why I disagree strongly with that whole belief system that majority of the Native Americans were, of an more of an Asiatic look. I believe it. To be honest, I believe it was easily a 50-50. I mean, it was a coin flip, in my opinion.
Me too. And I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that wholeheartedly. I feel like it's a 50-50. I honestly feel that anything past the Mississippi River is when it started changing. I think the West Coast has a concentration of them being more Asiatic. That's why I said
Washington, I would agree with that.
Down to like Baja Cali to the Mexican area. Boom. They're that indigenous where they have more Asiatic rock. On the right, on the East Coast, it's niggas. We have, but as soon as you pass that Mississippi River, is when it starts mingling. Something about that delta, it gets the cross mingling, and then as you start going out west, your body has to, like they said, you have to evolve to your area. You have to evolve to your surroundings. If you are receiving assistance, if you fucking had a wagon fucked up in Oklahoma, you're not asking John and Mary to fucking help you. You're gonna ask Chief such and such to fucking help you. And they might have Asiatic fucking characteristics. And now your blood is mingling. Now y'all are evolved. And now you do have some of those characteristics, but you are still Cree, or you are still Metapanai, or you are still Cherokee. Yes, you have part black in you, but now you've mingled with the indigenous tribes that have more Asiatic DNA. So now so it's not that you've even diluted any of your indigenousness. You've just altered it. It's no dilution. You're just different now. That's how I feel. End all be all. To get back to Thomas, yes, Thomas, because my mama be damned if I didn't know my heritage. And we lost so much paperwork. We lost so much stuff. I'm enrolled. My mama's enrolled. I got my scholarship to pay for my first freshman year in college. Thank you, Native American tribes. But baby, I wish I had a little bit more DNA in my body so I could get me a casino, goddammit. And that's my jokey joke for today. That's my jokey joke for today. Because them niggas ain't give me no casino money. God damn.
Like I almost wanna see if I can find any pictures like my grandparents show you guys. I normally don't like to.
My great grandmama Laura, baby, all of them dead except for my daddy. God rest their soul. But like my great grandmama Laura, that light skinned lady at my mama's wedding, her hair was down to the floor, baby. My mama used to braid it. It'd be a big ass braid down to the floor.
It'll take you to, oh yeah, let me, page unresponsive, of course. I got too much going on mine, so I ain't even gonna pull that up. But I would definitely agree with that, because when you start seeing, especially even into the Caribbean, I mean, there's a different look.
Thomas, when you getting on the show, Thomas, because you smart. When you getting on the show, Thomas, because you picking up when I'm putting down.
Man, I've been trying to
Come
bring
on,
Thomas
Thomas.
on forever.
Get
Thomas,
on the show,
Thomas,
Thomas.
I've been trying to bring him on forever.
Come
Thomas,
on,
Thomas
Thomas.
don't want to never show me no love. That's all right though. I've tried to bring Thomas on forever. I've told him for the longest, you
And
got to
that's what
open
I was telling
invitation.
you, Chris. So now I'm talking to Chris again. That's what I was telling you, Chris. When they come from Alaska, like I told you, those are the Asian. Those are pretty much the Asian immigrants. That's what I'm telling you right now. The only way that the Canadian natives would even look somewhat black is if they came from the Crees that were in New York, Maine, areas like that.
Well, also the Inuits too, coming out of
Thank
Alaska
you.
and stuff.
And that's why I feel that they have more Asiatic characteristics, because of the Inuits. They came and they sat there. You feel me? But that's just me.
No, I agree.
Yes, yo,
1000%.
Nina. Yes, my mama was the hair braider of the family. My mama was the historian. My mama was really in tune with keeping like making this known that I knew where I came from and my history from, and she was always a history buff for my family. So and unfortunately, I don't really care for my mama's side of the family, to be honest. So I love the history aspect. I'm happy with continuing it. Maybe when I have a kid, but my mom was my history buff, so she was the one that kept me up the par. I also found why my mama used to listen to Bobby Hemmett. I found her Bobby Hemmett tapes. I said, "Oh, my mama was woke before woke was cool." I say, "Get the fuck out of here." We didn't land on Plymouth Rock.
I'm sorry.
Plymouth Rock landed on us. Face ass. Excuse me. I apologize for that burp in the mic. My apologies. But yeah, Chris, that's because I mean, like Thomas and I are saying, more sun in the southern regions. We darker. We outside more. We playing outside in the dirt. Things of that nature. More on the West Coast, they get detrimental snow, so they're in their inhabitants more. You know what I'm saying?
Rest my grandmother's soul, but here's my grandmother.
See what I'm saying?
So
is she the one that just passed?
Yeah. Who was almost 100.
100, yeah.
So yeah, this is my grandmother. When I told you out of Oklahoma. But yeah, I'll stop sharing. I don't tend to. I tend to share everything with you guys, but I keep the family out of it, because you know weirdos out there, they'll try to go after your family and stuff like that when they don't like you. So
Just
try to be careful.
I want y'all to say something about me and mine. I had you go talk to her personally.
And that's what I was telling. That's what I was telling Thomas, with him being Choctaw and stuff. My grandmother falls into those same roots. He got it. Choctaw right there.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. Now, if you see my grandfather wasn't native, and that's where it gets that mixture, because my grandfather was very dark. And that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure my grandfather, DNA wise, probably went back to, I would say, probably Nigeria or something. And so I know that there's all of these different mixtures going on within me. So
who you asking, Thomas? Are you asking because I believe
he was talking about me?
I was about to say, because yeah, you're Afro Choctaw. I'm Afro and I'm Afro Cherokee, Afro Metapanai.
And like I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm no, I'm 75%. I'm not saying nothing crazy like that. I'm saying that I know that there is some of that same blood that's running through me, that somebody like Thomas would be basically a distant cousin in a sense. Just like most of y'all out in the chat, I got a little bit of everything in me. So I mean,
yes, Nina. Because my pull-up game is even stronger than hers. That bitch drove 3 hours to give a white man a piece of her motherfucking mind. Baby. I loved it.
This is something also that I always like to bring up, and I'm glad that Hamza brought this up. By the way, 80% of the Middle East was black. That's very true. But what they do is they go on, and this is why I say, who knows what the different natives and stuff like that? Because if you go back far enough, in my opinion, you see what started to happen, and when you started to have all of these different empires of people with more lighter complected skin start coming in and dominating, that's when you started seeing some of the changes happen within Egypt in particular. And that's when you started having this new Arab population, which Arab just means mixed. Mostly all that is, they just start mixing. And just like how you see in more Latino culture, where you'll see on TV and in print, they take the lighter people, they take the lighter skinned people, and then they plaster them all over everything and basically hide all the darker people away. So same thing in the Middle East. You can go to parts of Egypt right now and still see very dark Egyptians, but that's not the impression that they want to give you. And then for those people who bring up Cleopatra, Cleopatra is not even really an Egyptian.
Come on.
Cleopatra is
Come on.
basically a Phoenician. And when you start looking up the Phoenicians
on.
were people of Greek ancestry, and not even necessarily Greek. Goes into I'm trying to remember what were they called that was right above Greece, who moved into the area. And it's the same
That's
thing which
Rome?
Alexander was. Same thing that
Roman?
Alexander was. No, it's and these people, they get very offended if you say that they're the same. Macedonian. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yes,
Macedonians.
Macedonian.
So technically, when people talk about Cleopatra would have been a Macedonian, not even a Greek. Now,
Good job, Chad.
if you really want to peep game on something where Hollywood kind of pulled a little trick in your face and you didn't even notice it, you ever see the movie 300?
Mm-hmm.
You saw the second one too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you notice there was a little bit of difference between the first ones and the second one, right?
Yeah.
The first ones will look a little bit more bronze than the second ones, right?
Second one was white as hell, baby. Whitewashed like shit.
Now,
I mean, fuck that. The god of what was that one movie? Egyptian gods or whatever. Everybody was white.
well, yeah, I wasn't even gonna go there because that'll just
I'ma
piss
go
everybody
there.
off. It'll piss us
I'ma
all
go
off
there. God damn.
because if you look up the Lacedaemonians and you look up like statues and archaeology of Lacedaemonians, which people would have said Lacedaemonians would have actually been the same as the Spartans, the same people. You notice that, wait a minute, these people are a little bit darker than Leonidas was.
Mm.
And then what you notice later on, all of these people get even more light if you go into that time period and you start looking into the people who were there, whether you're talking about the Minoans and the Mycenaeans, the ancient Greek populations, you start realizing, wait a minute, hold up, something ain't right. And you'll notice that, wait a minute, there was some different phenotypes going on here, and all of a sudden Greece just start getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, as if they were pushing out all the dark people.
Oh.
And in the movie 300, it kind of encapsulated that, because you saw some kind of more bronzed white men to now pale pasty white men, i.e. symbolizing the Macedonians coming into Greece. And who was Alexander the Great? A Macedonian. Actually, if you really want me to go even further back in his lineage, I could. But you can actually tie him to a certain biblical population also.
Or like the apple juices?
I don't know if I really want to go there, but
are we talking about bicycle?
Well, they've been very popular when people start talking about get rid of all of Amalek. One of the last descendants of the Amalekites actually fled into Persia, and then fled from Persia into Macedonia. then Macedonia into Greece, and then oddly enough came right back around in the whole Egyptian area, and then start. So it'll get too deep. I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. But that's just a little research for y'all. Yeah, the new David movie. I can't watch anything that any of those movies where I see the phenotypes of these people being super pale. I just can't do it. I'm sorry.
Hamza be smart as hell. Hamza
Oh
be in
yeah.
my inbox. Hamza smart as a bitch. I just got a shout out. Let me give Hamza some flowers today. Hamza, you get
I
flowers
always
today.
I always
Stop making
keep trying to
bitches
invite
fucking leave.
Hamza on too. I be trying to bring Hamza on.
Hamza smart ass. He be sending me shit in my fucking Instagram inbox. I be like, Hamza, what is it today? And then I click on it, right? I be at work. This is the other thing. I can't. Hamza and Twitter are the two things I know I can't open up at work no more. I gotta leave.
Not safe.
I got it. It's not. It's not safe. I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go take my daily walk or some shit.
What is that?
So
That NFSW or whatever. I don't know the
yes, not suitable for work.
But his don't be.
NFSW.
But his don't be like some dirty stuff like your friend sending you inappropriate pictures or whatever.
No,
he be
on some. How can we get rid of the apple juices today? Let me turn the volume down on this bitch. Hold up, Hamza. I click it. I'd be like, oh my God, what is it today? And you'd be like, did you know that the apple juices were responsible for this? I'd be like, damn, are they? Let me go for a walk real quick. And I'll be outside walking, listening to I have the phone next to my ear because I got to turn it down all the way. And I'd be like, damn, Hamza, you right. They did do that. You crazy as hell. Next day, aliens. Want to talk about that today? God damn, Hamza. But the motherfucker know what he talking about. Because I ain't going to hold you. Hamza will fuck around and send me some shit 2 weeks before it even like really gets popping.
Oh shit, is Streets in the building?
You ain't
It's
seen
the
Streets? You missed him the whole time?
I did not know Streets was in the building. What's up?
That's who said the new movie David. That's who was popping off in the chat. Streets been in here for a couple of shits. He was talking about 300. Is Streets a movie buff? Because he was
yeah.
Because he knew exactly what time it was. He was like, nah, them Persians and shit. Go good shit, Street. Come back soon. But yeah, Hamza deserves some flowers with the shit that he be sending in my fucking inbox. Shit,
yeah,
I'm scared to look at it sometimes.
Well, this is and going back around to the conversation that was brought up about the natives and stuff like that. When you understand how that whole cradle to civilization, where mostly everybody was at, and the turnover and people and the migrations and this and that, that's the reason why even before getting into any other recorded history, this and that, this is the reason why I know for a fact that any natives had to been of more mixtures than what are thought of. Now, granted, the Asiatic people. Now, granted, this is where I'm gonna jump to the Bible a little bit. I know some of y'all don't like that, but when it starts talking about certain groups when they left, when they started leaving out of the Levant, and it talked about a certain group of people who they went to the east. And when it goes into those people who kept going to the east and went further to the east, when you look up certain gods that were practiced by certain groups of people who left from that area, they look very much like Asiatic populations. Now, I don't know. I don't know if my Bible buffs out there will know which groups I'm talking about, but this is why I'm just sprinkle this out there, because if you're inclined to do the research, I think it'll send y'all down some rabbit holes to start learning some things. But for now, I'm just sprinkle it out there, and I'll give it back to you too.
So what else happened this week in the week of week?
We had the Rob Reiner. We got to talk about that. Rest in peace to him and his wife. That was pretty messed up. You heard about that, right?
His son went in and slit him and his wife's throat.
Yeah, messed up news. And I was thinking
yeah, I got to thinking myself, because at first I was like, damn, that's crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? My man's just out here all fucked up in the game. But I was already hip at the fact that I was like, oh, white people crazy. You know how I feel. That's white people shit. But then I couldn't even say that's white people shit, because wait, let me finish. I couldn't even say that's white people shit, because 3, 4, 5 days prior to that, the opera singer got yoked up and murked by his son. So what
Yeah,
the fuck is going on what's in the Cali water that's got these motherfuckers acting crazy? Man?
well, this is what I said because I was talking about this with a couple of people at work. I said I honestly think what this is something that comes with wealth. As you get more and more of this money, you start moving to the top. Your relationships get a lot more distant and they get more cold. And I don't mean they get cold as in like you hate your family, but when you're this famed person and you're traveling all the time and you're not spending as much money, I mean not which as much time with your family, your relationship comes more about money than real relationships. And so you supplement the time you're not spending with your family by buying them things, by, oh, well, I'm going to put them in the best school. I'm going to give them the best this and the best that. But what they're really missing and needing, they're missing that emotional connection. And so they don't have that emotional connection to you. All you become to them is money. And the only thing that matters to them is money. And when it looks like there's anything that's going to stop them from getting that money because they didn't build that emotional relationship with you, they don't have a problem doing stuff like this to you. Now, I could be wrong in their relationship. I could be. But that's what I believe it is. I don't know. What do you think?
Man, this motherfucking goddamn. Okay, first off, Rob Reiner is honestly, he was one of my cool. I liked him. He did some of the best movies. You know, I'm a movie buff, so he did some of my favorite movies. Like
he did some huge classics, just classics.
What else? What's my
Stand by Me?
A Few Good Men. Stand by Me is not really that's not one of my. I don't care for that movie. I don't give a fuck about that movie. Too many white people in it. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's just not my jam. You know, I'm good on that. You want to see a dead body? Like, go ahead. But Few Good Men, you know that got played in my mother.
It's because you're younger. If you would have been around a certain time period, it would have hit different.
Yeah, it might have hit for me. That you ain't lying. That too. It just wasn't that. Y'all niggas gonna hate me for this. I don't give a fuck about Sandlot.
I wasn't a big Sandlot person either.
I don't give a fuck about no Goonies. Like all of that shit. I don't care about the 80s white people. Yeah, I know. I'm upset. I'm upset the crowd for you.
I'm not with you on that one.
Them white TNT movies couldn't get busy, couldn't get jiggy with it. I'm just not a fan. It's just not my shit. Spaceballs, niggas gonna lose their mind. I don't care for Spaceballs either. Sorry. And I'm a Mel Brooks fanatic. Part 2. The fact that Mel Brooks has outlived Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Rob Reiner, like goddamn, Mel, what the fuck kind of contract you signed with the devil? But nevertheless, A Few Good Men got played in my house every Marine Corps birthday. A Few Good Men got played every time that bitch popped up on TBS and TNT. We watched it in the house. So that's my shit. I liked him as an actor and as a fucking goddamn director. But hearing how his son did him dirty broke my heart. It really did. But then hearing all these people talk about, oh, well, he was battling with drugs. I done seen a shit ton of crackheads in my family. Ain't none of them kill nobody. Stolen TV maybe. But they ain't never killed nobody. You know? And then on top of that, finding out that as soon as the daughter found the bodies, the first person she called was Billy Crystal. What? Before the police, you called Billy Crystal? What?
I mean, maybe he was like an uncle. I don't know.
I get it. And that's why Steve made a joke about that. And he was like, daughter, I'm about to die. Make sure you call Billy Crystal. I was dying. Steve's a fucking idiot. But I thought about it. I was like, damn, why would you call Billy Crystal? I don't know. Maybe it is an uncle. You know what I'm saying? But just knowing that, like, your brother did your peoples in, your brother did your mom and your dad in, baby, cops wouldn't have been able to find him fast enough, baby. I'm just letting you know. That's how I would have took it. So it breaks my heart that we even have to have this type of conversation about the fact that this man really did his parents in, and now he's probably going to get off or go to the same.
No, he go no.
Ed Gein. No, wait. Check me out. He might go to the same asylum that Ed Gein went to and get to have the comfy ass life because that's Rob Reiner's fucking son.
But that's the thing. They don't have them. They don't have asylums like that no more, really.
Okay, you think not? Man, listen. Diddy is sitting in one right now. You get what I'm saying? You get my drift? He gonna get a comfy. He gonna get 3 hots in a cot, my guy. No,
of course,
we need to We need to be bringing back old, not even old shit, but we need old world shit again. I am dying on this hill. I don't give a damn if I'm dying on a hill that might even kill me. We need to bring the guillotine back. We need to bring out shooting squads. We need to bring out burying your ass up to your shoulders and letting birds pick your eyeballs out. We need to get back to old world shit. Smoke crack, your brain's a fucking fried egg in a cast iron skillet. Like, cut the bullshit. Because what I'm saying is, they already sat here and said, well, he was found out to have schizophrenia a couple weeks ago. He just got prescribed schizophrenia medicine. They're going to ride that shit the fuck out. Give him an insanity plea and call it a day.
I don't know. I think it's going to be enough people who want blood who he ain't gonna slide out that easy. I think even he get the wrong judge who's gonna be hot. I don't think they just giving him a pass.
Man, listen, that man, you can think what you want to. I looked at the shit. They already trying to get this man an insanity plea out the cup. They already trying, which is terrible, but they doing it. They're gonna get that man a nice little insanity plea. They're like, oh no.
Now I'll give you another one. Like it was one of his big movies that everybody was raving about. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that one just wasn't for me. Like I couldn't even watch it. When Harry Met Sally, because you brought up Billy Crystal. Yeah, I was. Yeah, honestly, it's only because he was so iconic for those handful of movies. Now, granted, all of these different movies were iconic to different people. That's kind of the weird thing about it. Like you had a group of people who were huge on the When Harry Met Sally, and then you had people who Misery was their jam, and then you had people where American President was their jam, and then you had people like Yonina brought up about what was that one? The Princess Bride. I didn't watch that. It was at that certain point where I was like, some of these movies I'm just not really, not my thing. LBJ, that's another one. Bucket List for some of the baby boomers. They loved a movie like that. Rumor has it that's another one like that. Because he started making more of the kind of like romance comedy kind of, and at that point I was hitting my teenage years and wanted stuff a little bit more violent. Yeah, Chris, you see what Chris A said to you, Till?
Man. Hey, Chris, I'm with the shits, baby. I ain't look, my history buffing skills don't just be out here trying to prove points on who's what and where they came from. Hell no. When it comes to that shit, when it came to when I was in history class in college, my teacher actually like broke off one day and was talking about just corporal punishment. Because I thought I was gonna be I thought I wanted to be Michael Bobby. Yeah, I saw that too, and you're right. He was really close to him because
that's why I said he had to be close to the family, like an uncle damn near.
They both directors, you know what I'm saying? They both directors too.
But he also like from When Harry Met Sally, that being one of his big hits, being Bill Crystal's big hits. I think that probably something like a project like that, I think kind of fuses you together for quite a bit of time. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, we had a corporal punishment segment in my history class. When I tell you I ate that shit up, when I tell you I sat in the front row, my professor couldn't get me out his fucking face. Because yes, I am like, yeah, it's cool. What Jesus say? Whoever person without sin cast the first stone. Stone that motherfucker down. Stone him. I'm gonna come with the biggest cement block. I'm gonna come cement, and then it was just like we went through all of it from the crucifixions.
Here, before you move on from that, I want to throw a little extra context in. Do you know that some people say that during that time when he say ye who was without sin cast the first stone, that he was literally just writing down, like scratching into the ground. And some people say that he was writing down all their sins, the one who won the stoner. Cold work, if that was what was really going down.
That's crazy work, bro.
I just wanted to put that out there. He was like, oh, you want to say that, Mr. Gambling Debt? You want to say that, Mr. Murderer? Oh, you want to see that, Mr. Stealing from the congregation? But I don't know. I just wanted to add that little extra tidbit, but sorry, go ahead.
But like we broke everything down. Crucifixions. We just started going through time because like even what how would you describe it? Like Neanderthal times and things of that nature, like when they were still in the learning process of making weapons and things of that, they checked each other. Poke, get a poke with a spear right quick. We gonna push your ass off the motherfucking goddamn cliff. You know what I'm saying? Down on the spiky rocks, you go. You know, shit like that. Like they understood that niggas had to be checked. There was checks and balances. That's one thing you can say that was that's older than the dawn of time was checks and balances. You know what I'm saying? And even in moments where you think of animalistic things, and this is just me talking to Chris H about this, but there's just sections in life where there's animalistic and like instinctual ways of checking some shit, i.e., is your bird going to last in this evil ass world? Let me check. I'ma chuck this motherfucking baby out the nest. If that motherfucker crack on the bottom, well, shit. Weak babies. But if it don't crack on the bottom, that bitch gonna fly. We good money. We cooking. Hey, that's instinctual. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bring that shit back. We need a guillotine back. Me personally, don't be surprised if they're gonna be like, news today: woman builds guillotine in the back of her yard. States anybody needs to have a reckoning. Come on through. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have a guillotine in the back. Sick of your baby daddy? Chop his head off. Sick of your baby mama? Chop his head off. Neighbor went down the street, kicked your dog? Chop their head off. It is what it is. We a head chopping. We got the heads rolling. Call me Marie Antoinette.
Like, I honestly wish it was a way where you can call out people like, yo, we got the ring over here. So you got a disagreement with somebody. You can legally hop in the ring and put hands up. I would love that reality.
We do. And we do. There's a guy out here. Oh my God, I gotta find his Instagram page, Marcus. I will send it to him because I met you, but there are no other girls that want to catch a fade. But he has an Instagram page called Catch a Fade, where he goes around Virginia and he tells you what city he's in. And he goes, do you want to fight somebody or do you got something to get off your chest? Come and catch a fade.
Because I feel
and
like
duke it out.
I feel like if they had that, in a sense, like I look at all these, like I was like, if I was like a very wealthy, I was a multimillionaire, I'd be hearing all these, like, you know, whatever, Grape Street, Crips, Blood, whatever, and they got smoke for them. No. They don't need to shoot it out. You come and put yourself in the ring and you hop in the ring and you go and handle this like we used to do back in the day. And it's not going to be all that talk. So Drake, if he wanted to have that real smoke, I would do it by the celebrity version. Hey, you and Kendrick, y'all can go hop in the ring. Only people need to know what happened is us who in this room, and it don't go outside of here. But I don't know. Some of those people might want everybody to know. Like, you know what? Televise mine. I want everybody to see the work that I put in on him. You know, pause, no kind of weird stuff. That's all I'm saying. I know how everybody is this pause generation.
I don't pause no more. I just say the weird shit. Can you beat me? Can you beat me up?
It's so freaking annoying. I'm like, am I 13 or something? Why do I gotta play this little weird kid game? And I know where it came from. It's because the two people who were saying all of that were going around saying suspect stuff for many years. And so they felt this need to justify, oh no, I'm not saying nothing homosexual. Why are you so defensive? Huh? Why are you so defensive? You got something to hide? Because I feel like if you feel like you need to go this hard to convince people that you're not something, it's probably because it's a good possibility that you might be.
That you might be.
I mean, I heard rumors about Mace. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
All I'm saying is, he went straight to goddamn church.
That don't mean nothing.
Everybody, I ain't trying to say
Matt.
Wait, no. It do mean something, nigga. You are the minister of music. We already know what them niggas do. Chill out.
Because my mom talked about that she wants to come on a live stream one of these days. And I guarantee you, there's a story that I can have her bring up about a pastor we know back home. They got caught being trapped in the closet, if you know what I mean.
That ain't getting caught. That's part of the job description after a while. He ain't get caught. He just got sloppy. He got tired. Mm-hmm. And I wish more pastors would get like that. Because I ain't going to look. This is where I'm at with it.
Well, I'm used to the cheating pastors, not the ones who secretly got 2 boyfriends and extra saucy.
But that's another thing that I want to throw out there because, like, I look, Lord have mercy. Here I go. This is why I got kicked out of the church in the first place. I asked a question. I was just like, okay. It's not supposed to be Adam and Steve. It's supposed to be Adam and Eve. Well, technically, no, the fuck it won't because Eve won't listen in no goddamn way.
Apparently so. Definitely.
fucking with Adam and Eve, you're gonna be fucking around getting a divorce anyway. Baby Chris, that nigga ran to God. That nigga found God so goddamn fast.
Like, if it is a fiery underworld, I'm going there. That's what he was probably thinking.
Why, dude? What do you want? My dog came all the way downstairs to come see what the fuck I was getting loud about. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm sorry. Did I wake you up out your nap? Like, bitch, you being too loud.
What kind of dog you got?
I got an American bully.
Oh.
95. She a big ass 95-pound pretty girl. What do you want? Why is your nose running? Come here. Why look like your nose running, nigga? Oh, it's not. Move. God damn, bro, move.
She's like, oh, it's cuddle time. It's cuddle time.
Absolutely not.
Let's see. So, oh yeah, the 2 stream things. I've just been kind of trying this out. I know that some people look at it on their phone, and so I don't know if they like it the TikTok version where they can do it upright or the traditional. Of course, I watch most stuff in the kind of traditional. And I guess also it makes it easier if I do the streams this way. If I ever want to cut something out and do it as a short or do it or put it onto TikTok, it just makes it easier. Also, by the way, I guess since I'm talking about TikTok right now, I want to put this out here and ask. TikTok keeps I guess since I've hit some threshold or whatever, now I can do live streams on TikTok. And so I was wondering if I did a live stream on TikTok, and it would probably be more something like this where it's a lot less formal. I don't have like a bunch of different topics laid out where I'm just hopping on here, just kind of talking with everybody. Would you guys be interested in me doing some TikTok lives? And if so, would you guys be interested? I mean, me putting it out there that way you can come and check it out. Well, yeah, I try. I mean, I know that people have their different ways, and so I know that a couple of people, Thomas, that told me that they actually prefer it that way. So I'm like, okay, cool, that works. Especially for people who watch a lot of like TikTok type format. They prefer it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. I know it can be a little confusing at first, and I think we'll all get used to it in time. I think this may be kind of more of something that people may do more in the future. I don't know myself. I guess I'm kind of a dinosaur. I still like it the way we do it, but oh, my TikTok. Let me find my handle. That way I can show it to you guys.
Marcus, number 1 nigga in charge. No, I'm playing. That's not it. It's not it. It's actually Marcus, number 1 nigga in charge, Cage. Make sure you add the parentheses around that too.
Honestly, that would be. I can see my brother making a handle like that. like real talk. My brother, he's a lot more. If you think about it, like you had like the more, like if you compared boxer style or whatever, I would have been. I'm trying to think who's somebody that's a good example. I would have been more like an Andre Ward, like, oh, thank you guys, everybody, thank you God. My opponent, it was a good fight. My brother was like the Floyd. Of course, I'm the greatest there is. I'm the greatest there ever was.
Parentheses too, Chris. Don't forget the parentheses. Me and Chris, hey, can you please put your handle in the chat too? Hey,
and so, Till say hi. So it would be at Young Morpheus Cage.
No,
That's
type
how
it
you
in the chat
fund.
so they can get it. Put it right underneath
All right,
Chris
all
Mark.
right, all right. I'll
Because
put it there.
Chris forgot the parentheses around HNIC. It's cool though, but we're gonna get you the right. But no, I swear, me and your brother would get along because I'm the same way. Because if it was me, like that Jake Paul fight last night, man, listen, if I
Yeah.
was the old boy that knocked him clean the fuck out, the way that my interview would have sounded like, yeah, Marcus over here talking about it was a good fight. You know, Jake was a good contender. Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna in the mic. Give me the mic. I'm gonna hold the mic. On top of that, give it to me. He was a bitch. His mama did one thing in life, and that was give birth to two bitches.
God dang.
So yes, exactly. So at least she fulfilled her protocol by bringing these bitches in my life, so I can go ahead and knock them down. Next, his brother. Let's go. Go ahead and call me.
Honestly, what I probably would have done, honestly, I probably wouldn't have agitated, so I don't think I would have been as my normal self. I would have said, honestly, I got frustrated with him jumping on my legs all the time. You can hurt somebody like that, so I don't have any respect for somebody who's going to keep doing that shit. Of course, I do have a certain amount of respect for anybody who's going to step in the ring, but stand up and fight like a man. Don't do all these little weird ass games and stuff. This ain't fucking WrestleMania. I get you wearing it on your shorts. And I would have said another thing is to the ref, I wish you wouldn't count so fast because I would have loved for him to try to get back up. I would have loved that. So that way, instead of knocking him out because he don't get up to the count, I would have actually wanted to put him to sleep. That's probably what I would have said. I mean, I have my moments where I'm not as humble.
Hey y'all, I thought we was on pay-per-view. I didn't know we was on OnlyFans. The way that he was on his knees all night, I thought he was trying to do something else besides fight. So with that being said, if that's what he's trying to do after as a congratulatory thing, I'm with it, I guess. Y'all have a good night. Give me my belt. I am terrible. I'm an A1 shit talker, y'all. I got a PhD in it.
Now, if I was the interviewer, if I would have been the interviewer to after the fight, I would have said, Anthony Joshua, congratulations on the great fight. I just got one question for you. Why were you giving him so much respect? Like, why weren't you just walking straight in and just knocking his head off? Why were you, actually feinting and dodging and worried about his punches back? I mean, it's pretty clear that he doesn't have proper training. He doesn't have serious punching power. He got like brawler, like dude who gets in a street fight power. And he don't know how to turn. He don't know how to sit down on his punches, things like that. So why give him the respect of a real fighter? Like you were coming in, and I get it. I don't know. Maybe was it because of the previous losses that you had that you were just trying to be on the safe side? I don't understand why you. I'm just trying to understand why were you being so cautious?
These people paid for a fight. They wanted to see one. You right. I could have knocked his head clean off his shoulders into row 7 within 3 seconds of this fight. But you want to know something? I'd be damned if I'm gonna go to the movie and y'all give me the ending at the beginning. So I just wanted everybody to be able to sit through, get to see what they wanted to see. I mean, I knew what time it was. You feel me?
And no, you know what? Respect.
That's the mindset that I would have on that.
But I think he would have still made people happy, even if he did knock him out in the first like 30 seconds. Because people been like, "Oh, I've been waiting for years to see this punk ass
motherfucker fall." Yes, me too, baby. You couldn't tell.
And especially when he had the nerve to start saying out of Dorado, Puerto Rico. Oh my, that burns. Oh, that frustrates me more than anything. Bitch, you're from Cleveland. Stop fucking claiming Puerto Rico, please.
Who? Jake Paul? Jake
Paul
says he's Puerto Rican?
No, he claims it because he moved there. So now he claims that he's fighting for the pride of Puerto Rico.
Whoa. Simmer down.
Yeah, mad disrespectful.
What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
Mm-hmm. And if you notice on his trunks, he has a Puerto Rican flag on his trunk.
Oh my God, what kind of cultural appropriation shit is this? You heard, I think we already talked about the fact that his brother got kicked out of Japan.
Yeah, doing dumb shit, of course.
Yeah, you know about it too?
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about it on this show?
No, but I think we've talked about it off air though.
Off air. Okay, yeah, doing dumb shit. Like they have no respect for any culture. They are the epitome of the white people that you don't like. Speaking of the epitome of white people you don't like, did you see Dave Chappelle read Bill Maher for the filth that he is?
Oh no, I have not seen it. I
What?
know he is that part of his new stand-up.
Yes. Hold
Don't
up.
well, don't
Hold
don't
up. You're
talk
gonna
don't
watch
talk
it?
about it yet. Don't talk about it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either. I just got a clip. Steve sent me a clip and was like, he got it. He still got it.
Because I'm gonna watch that tonight
You
after
are?
the show. Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I
Okay.
got
Okay.
I got I got
We're gonna talk
my
about it
power.
next. Mm. You got time. How much time you got off of work?
I got what? No, I just got Christmas Day off.
Boo hiss. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the government. Hey, are you
Yeah.
gonna be affected by the shutdown?
Nope.
Because you know the other one's coming. The part two coming.
Oh, but I will be. Oh, let me mention that. I think was it Tuesday night. I will be going on with Warren. He's doing, I think, a secret show or something like that, and so I think I'll be
Mm.
on Thursday. Oh, that's what he called it, festives, a festivus, and so I'll be
Festivus.
on. So I'll be on with him then.
I just wanted us to do like a quick. I just like how we did centers. I want us to
Hmm.
do a quick one about Chappelle because I mean the clip that
Well,
I saw, I went,
hey,
what
you
the
ain't say.
fuck?
Hey, say less.
Come on,
That's all.
mhm.
We can definitely do that. Yeah. So as soon as I see it, in fact, um, I wanted to do just like we did with the Ed Gein. I want to do another one of those with the Diddy documentary after I finish it.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Then let's do that one
So
because baby, that motherfucker right there. Oh my
so
god, that shit
y'all
is
heard it here
terrible.
now. Y'all got something to look forward to. You got those two that are gonna be coming up from us. Oh, speaking of the type of white people going into countries doing shit and annoying people, did you hear about Bonnie Blue?
Mm-mm. What happened?
Bonnie Blue is looking at the possibility of 15 years in prison.
What
Now,
she do? Was she sucking dick and what she do?
Bonnie Blue went to Bali,
Mm-hmm.
and she is basically arrested and charged with because pornography is illegal in Indonesia.
Oh, she put her pussy on live for $1,000.
She has a no.
Oh no.
She bought a van, or it's like a
Mm-hmm.
little truck. She painted it blue and she calls it the Bang Bus. In
Oh
which she
no.
rides around Indonesia, basically saying anybody want to hop in and take a turn, hop in.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what she's doing in Bali, pissing
Well, what
off
do
the
you
fucking
expect?
locals.
But what do you expect when she banged 1,000 niggas in 12 hours? I know who she is. And honestly, I ain't gonna hold you.
Disgusting.
Her body ain't even all that.
Her face ain't all that.
I was getting there. I was getting there. Because obviously I said her body first. Because I'm getting there. Because if she was a bad bitch in the face, I would have been like, okay, at least she got a bad face. But her body ain't even, it don't even support the face that's on her neck. So like, boo. Oh, by the way, guys. So I've been working on trying not to cuss as much since y'all know I work around children and shit. So I got my babies to start throwing their thumbs down when they dislike something instead of like freaking the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got third graders going around going boo. It is the cutest thing ever to walk into elementary school and they see me and they go, Miss Martin, boo, boo. I'm like, exactly, boo. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Boo, boo that person. Boo that kid. That kid cut you in line, boo their ass is loud as fuck.
And if you
And I'm
got
talking
any of them who wear a hat, have them yank off their hat. Boo this man.
boo this man, okay? I got these kids booing each other. And I'm talking about I had a kid come up behind somebody and boo him in their ear, like boo.
God.
It is the beautifulest thing ever. So yes, be mindful of how you talk around children. You were definitely speaking gospel to them. Remember that. Kids believe adults. No matter what it is, they will believe an adult and what you say is gospel. Make it at least good for them, and teach them to boo people in the public. is more people need to be booed. I.e., back to our original topic, this bad face, bad built bitch, she should be booed. I hope Molly boos the fuck out her ass. Boo. And I bet you her pussy
Yeah.
trash too.
And that's a
Boo.
and you know she's married too, right?
Jesus Christ.
And not only is she married, but she said that she would be offended and angry if her husband messed with another woman.
What kind of cuck does she have?
I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
What kind of cuck does she have in her life? Like for real.
He gotta be the ultimate one.
Jesus Christ. No, I'm
You
good.
literally letting your woman sleep with fucking tens of thousands of men and then what you coming home and you kissing her all in the mouth?
No.
Mm.
No. No.
And that's another thing. She don't even have like, okay, we've already discussed, okay, she's basic body, basic face, not even and she don't even at least what's the other one who's kind of doing the same stuff? At least she kind of has that little, she has almost like an innocent look to her.
And who believes that shit these days? Get out of here.
Well, young guys do. Young guys still fall for that trap because I don't know if this younger generation is much so, because I know definitely men my age and in our generation got probably scarred from a lot of women who had that innocent look. Because what's her name? Lily something. A lot of us got scarred from that because they always taught us how to be so treat women like these delicate creatures that they are. And so when you're always doing that, your guard is so down. So when that woman who it really is a spawn of Satan walks into your life, you don't see it coming. And it ain't because she ran such a great game or any of that. It's because you've been taught to keep your guard down with women. When another dude comes in your life or a man tries to sell you something, you see straight through that shit instantly. But any woman who bats her eyes a certain way, many guys were taught to oh, well, that's a lady. You treat a lady this way. You don't do that. And so many guys, lost a lot of money, had a lot of heartache, probably spent some time in prison, all because of, not seeing some of these women for some of the evil people that they are. And I'm not saying women as a whole, but I'm saying treating every woman like they're these innocent creatures will get you hurt every time.
Your Nina is funny.
Yeah.
I'm
you
sorry,
talking about the one who had her?
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
I'm not reading the rest of that, but yeah. Yeah, Thomas, tens of thousands of men. She literally was like, I want to do over 1,000 men. What was it, within 24 hours?
But she wanted to do it in 24 hours, but she got to 12 hours. I think she was like 20.
She did hers in like 12 hours because
the
Lily girl did it 23. Lily girl did it in like 23 hours. And so she tried to beat her. And so in the meantime, she said that on a random day, she do like, just pull up on any dudes anywhere and be like, hey, you want to go? And so she just, sleeping with dudes. Well, that's not sleeping. She letting just random dudes just do whatever to her body. And so, yeah, tens of thousands is very likely that I guarantee, I'm pretty sure she's probably close to probably 10,000 by now. Because even before the 1,000, she was doing like 300 or 400, She just kept pushing her numbers. And so she's been doing this for God knows how long. Oh, yeah. I looking at Bonnie Blue, I would not be surprised if we hear one day she has HIV. Yeah, I'm not saying she has it now, and I'm not wishing that on her because I don't wish stuff like that on people who've done nothing to me. But I wouldn't be surprised if one day she comes down with it.
You know, I'm gonna say something on that too. Um, I be thinking that the things that I've done in my life could have been reckless. That granted, I've probably been put in situations where I could have contracted some wild fucking shit because I haven't made all the best decisions in my life. I'm not saying that I made 80% bad ones, but there's at least like 15% terrible decisions that I've made. Um, and there are times when I've probably woken up from one night stands and was like, girl, what the fuck? Where I'm like, I've been thankful that God has made it so that I've been 100% clean my whole life, bro. And that's a real good stint to be able to stand 10 toes. Like, I ain't never had to go to the clinic.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are women in this world, and this goes the same. I say this in the same breath that I talk to women with children that don't take care of their kids, like piss poor moms. I say that in the same breath as this is when I go like, damn, God be out here giving these bitches babies, but he take mine away type shit. And I be mad as fuck with God about it. And I be tight. I be real mad. And then I be thinking to myself about how God has spared me in so many aspects. But then he be out here sparing these hoes too. You better not give me AIDS. She out here fucking 12,000 people. I mean, 1,200 niggas in a day. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't catch one disease. I would have been mad as fuck, Marcus. Let me tell you something. If I lived the same life I live and God would have gave me something permanent, oh baby,
Yeah.
the way and she out here doing God knows what and has a husband, and you have a husband. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I be John Wicking bitches left and right, y'all. I'm trying to tell you.
And the crazy part, I remember it now. Phillips, the other one is Lily Phillips, is the other one. The crazy part about it is when you see Bonnie Blue in her interviews, this woman looked like she got no remorse. Like none of this stuff even like bothers her. Like it like she's completely desensitized to all of it. The Lily Phillips, she be trying to pretend like this ain't emotionally scarring her, but you can see it in her eyes. Like this is, I wouldn't be like Bonnie. I can see her end up catching, the HIV, but I can see the other one overdosing on pills. I can see the other one be like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and end it. Because you can tell she trying to pretend like this don't mess with her, but like I've seen some of her interviews and the woman is like damaged. Now I don't know what happened to these girls when they were younger, if something happened or didn't happen, or they were just born messed up. Because yes, to me, I'm being judgmental if you want to say that is they're messed up in the head. I don't know how it happened, and I'm not even. Hey, she make women who are in the industry look like angels because of the level that these women are going to. And her husband tried to justify it and said she's better than porn stars because she's letting all of her fans get to experience her. I said, wow,
Baby,
that is the ultimate
God.
cuck statement.
Hey God.
Ultimate cuck statement.
I'm not saying I need my man to get ran over by me, but if you could just give me a man that loves me an ounce of what this nigga love her, that's all I need. I don't need much. I ain't asking for a lot. I'm really not.
Yeah.
Because god damn, can't even be. I'm not saying I want to live the perfect life. In a perfect world, I want to have a very abnormal life, Marcus. My life will not follow suit with a lot of Euro Christianic as mindsets. I more or less like to function out of a Ethiopian Christian mindset, even if it has to have some type of Christianity to it. But to be honest, I'd prefer to be more or less like Yoruba or, old school African religious and traditions, like in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? I would love to have two husbands because niggas is extra. Y'all is just as bad as women sometimes. Y'all know that? And I should know because I date both. Okay, but for some reason, I still like y'all a little bit more than women. But I would prefer having two boyfriends, two husbands. And niggas always be like, well, does that mean I can have another girlfriend? Yes. If it helps you get the fuck out my face some days, by all means. I am not possessive of humans. I am okay with open relationships. It is cool with me, right? But there's a but. We got to be on the same page, bro. You're not about to sit here. You feel what I'm saying? We got to be on the same page about shit. There's got to be good honesty, communication, shit like that. This bitch You got a nigga that can't touch other bitches, but you out here doing boy, the way I'd put her head through some drywall. The way that I would find a stud. I would use her head as a stud finder to put up my next TV. Okay? I'm trying to tell you what. I at least understand the concept of if I'm asking to have another partner introduced, or I'm talking to men and off the cuff, I let them know my perfect lifestyle, like how I don't have an issue with that. When niggas fix their mouth to ask, well, does that mean skirt? Yes. Yes, it does. And she better be pretty. If you bring home a mud duck, I'm gonna be mad and I'm gonna talk shit all night. No, I'm not touching that mud duck. Why you bring that mud duck to my house? Now she know where I live. It's crazy work. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Marcus. I'm okay with that. This what you found today? Where did you find her? AutoZone. The bitch looked like she could drop an engine in the fucking F-150 by her goddamn self. Why would you bring this to my house?
Now let me throw well, since you brought that up, let's throw this in here. What if she come home with a set of skills? He like, oh baby. Now I know she don't look that great, but she can go out there and fix our 67. Hey, she can drop a new engine in it, transmission. Yo, she can bore out the piston. She know how to do it all in free labor.
Marcus, the way that I would lean back from the conversation to look at her and come back to the conversation like, all right, so hold on. Can that bitch pick up the refrigerator and move it? Because I've been trying to sweep behind there for 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. What if she brings some things to the table now?
All right.
You find out like, yo, hey, she don't look the best, but hold on. Hey, taste this. You taste that souffle. You like, whoa, now hold on.
My house looking better than damn.
Exactly.
Damn. Okay, that bitch gotta throw that. That's one last thing I gotta do. And yes, Marcus, I do think in that manner. Yes, I am more accepting, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Hey, she doing all your laundry, folding it up perfectly. You like, this got a lemon? Got a lemon scent to it? What did you? Oh, this is so soft. How you get my clothes this soft?
And my shit ain't never been this soft, bitch. You can say. Matter of fact, you can pick up an extra day with his ass too, because I've been trying to get rid of my Tuesdays. I've been trying.
She like, hey, I know Charles. I'm just making up a man's name for you, but I know Charles been working all these extra shifts. Wouldn't you like for him to be able to get off and only work 40 hours? Because I could pick up a couple extra shifts.
Bitch, you picking up Charles's shifts? Golly, you get the. You know what? I might get rid of my extra husband for you, bitch.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't know how much weight she might be pulling to the table.
So, and that's what I need and I'm glad that you pointed that out, because when I get to talking to men about me having 2 husbands, they immediately connotate like connected to sexual favors. It's not that. It's not that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand, a lot of men, everybody gives different characteristics. Everybody can bring something different to the table.
Yeah.
I don't need 2 niggas that are emotionally incapable of being able to be emotional for me. I can only deal with 1 nigga that don't give a fuck about my emotions. But if I come in the house crying, I need one of my men to be like, babe, what's wrong? Both of them gonna say, damn, what's wrong? But I know I'm gonna have one dude that's like, damn, you gotta suck that shit up, big dog. We got shit to do. I need somebody that's gonna be like, okay, babe, don't listen to that nigga right now. Finish crying it out.
You see, Michael's in the building. He said, I'm with you on the open relationship stuff, Teal.
Come on, I'm saying, because it's not the wave, but it's one, it'll stop this cheating conversation from happening if y'all have these comfortable conversations. You wouldn't have a cheating spouse if you asked them uncomfortable questions in the beginning. You wouldn't have a cheating spouse if you asked them how they view things or how they go about wanting to live life, and you put them in a weird box where they can't express themselves correctly. And it's a lot, you know. And so many people will fuck around and lay down with somebody, and now they stuck with this nigga because they done made a baby, and now you stuck with a person that don't even know you. Or you fucked around and had the wrong conversation, and you found out that your significant other is not getting jiggy with any of the things you thought they could get jiggy with.
Yeah.
You can't even express these things, and now you out living a secret life or a second life. And when they find out, now you a cheater, now you a whore, now you this and the third. But if you would have been able to talk to them 3 years ago to tell them like, hey, I'm with open relationships. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to bring another girl. It's not about sex. It's about what I can get. You know what I'm saying? It's about how they make me feel. Because a lot of situations that I've been in, I'm not super proud of it, but I like to tell people all the time, I've been a professional side bitch for years. And when it comes to, I'm so serious. And when it comes to when men come and utilize my services as the professional side bitch that I was, I'm reformed now. That's the main thing that I would get out of men. It had nothing to do with the sex. There were times when men wouldn't even come over and have sex. It would be the peace that I bring. I bring peace. I talk a whole bunch of shit, but I talk I shouldn't say I talk the same amount of shit in a different volume when it comes to a man that I actually like.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring peace to their life. They come over, they can play video games. I got 3 PlayStations. Always had, always had the video games on deck. I'm always cooking. There's always snacks in my crib. Ain't got no kids, so I always got snacky snacks and Capri Suns and shit. You know what I'm saying? Dudes come here and get to relax. They get to they get the bullshit. They go home, they probably get demanded, bitch talking crazy all goddamn time. I don't nag, nigga. I'll fix you a plate, turn on the game, and I'll go do something else. Maybe this is not my time to fold the clothes with the lemony scent. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Hebrew Israelites in general. Well, most, I'll say One West. Most One West Hebrew Israelites believe, they believe in polygyny. And so, for those who don't understand what polygyny is not the same as polygamy. Polygamy is multiple husbands or multiple wives, whereas Hebrew Israelites believe in multiple wives for a husband, not the other way. And the reasoning why is because of what a marriage, that unity brings to the table, being married into that family, and also how back in those days, how the men were out in the field, they doing the work, how women bring, okay, they're educating the kid, they're cooking the meals, they're washing the clothes, they're doing all that, and they're making for a stronger family unit as a whole. And so I know some people are not going to agree with that or whatever. And then you have the complete opposite in places like the Philippines, where it's very common for a woman to have multiple husbands. And not a man to have multiple
wives. Exactly. They backwards. Well, I would say backwards, but they're the opposite. And one of my best friends is a Hebrew Israelite. When I met him, he was with his first shorty. I was very uneducated about it at the time. I thought it was only a Muslim thing. This tell you how much growth I've gotten in the last 10 years. This is about 10 years ago when I met him. And he had his first girl, Robin. I loved Robin. When he told me he had a second wife, I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Robin is beautiful, right? And then he got his third wife. Then the third wife didn't work out. Then he got his fourth wife, which technically became his third wife again. Like, you know what I'm saying? He replaced the third wife, but this was his fourth one that I knew of. And she was old as dirt, Marcus. She was like 65, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Now you got to understand. Now I'm a little more educated, but I'm still like, what the fuck is going on in your household right now? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Polyandry is for the wife. That's right.
Polyandry. Yeah. Polyandry is for wives and with multiple husbands. I want to be
polyandry. Or polyandry. Yeah. Sorry.
But like, when I talked to him about the old wife, I said, all right, bro, what's going on with this old lady? He was like, well, she sits home and teaches the children. My kids don't go to school. My kids don't go to public schools. I went, oh, shut the fuck up. And now he's up to 5. I think he's up to 5 or 6 or some shit like that.
And also think about you know how much love that kid is getting? That kid is getting, words of wisdoms in so many different directions. So, I mean, I think, now granted, some people can never just get past their base feeling, and different people are different people, but for the people who do embrace those lifestyles or who are open to it, we're just shedding a little bit of light on it. That's all. So people don't get butt hurt out there and be like, I know, don't be trying to force it. Nobody's trying to force anything on anybody. Just want to clarify that.
But I do want to show Mike's. Can we do both of Mike's comments? Because
yeah. Let me put the first one up.
I don't like, that's the first one I want to talk about. I don't like how people immediately put that on a polyandry relationship. No, my nigga is not fucking on the other nigga. No, it doesn't have to even be that type of vibe. It's literally a man understanding that he lacks certain aspects that I'm requiring, but it's not big enough for us to end it all. Okay? Does that make sense? Like, yeah, he might forget that this is my favorite ice cream, but the other one don't. That's less stress on this nigga. He can do all the things that he knows he can do for me 110%. And he don't got to pick up nothing else. He don't got to change shit. He don't got to do nothing else different. The same way I found him, the same way he found me, we are good. I just have other needs that need to be found by the second dude, and the second dude can just supply those needs. Cool. But then when these motherfuckers come out with that whole, oh, they must be fucking on each other. No, bro, it don't even gotta be like that. Ain't nobody pussy to nobody else. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? There's no level of one's better than the other. No, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just knows how to do what they can do really, really good. And we highlighting those really, really good aspects. Part two. Do you know how great it is to have two grown ass men getting two grown men salaries? I'm not the bitch that wants to be put up, but I can understand my place. If I had two strong men that had two really good blue collar jobs, coming home, bringing home these thick ass checks, and me being financially savvy and knowing how to fucking make this shit shake, baby, we'll be buying 8, 9 properties. Now I'm flipping houses and we can actually make this shit work. You know, like there's so much more than just,
like I know
fucking on each other.
like I might sound, I know I'll probably sound a little bit like a hypocrite, but I guess my jealousy, I couldn't be the second husband or have, be in that situation. But somebody asked me, so what if your wife was a lesbian and she came to you and said, then I had to really think. I was like, I could understand that more, because I'm like, I don't have boobs. I don't have female parts. So if she wants that, I couldn't never provide that. And so even without, having some kind of physical relationship with that other woman, I could understand that more. And I felt like I would have been able to meet a woman, on that, like, okay, I can get with that. But I don't think I could have ever got to the point of letting her have another man or being with an. It's not a letting, because if they decide that, well, you just decide either you can handle it or you can't. The relationship's over. But I've always felt like, what, I think I could possibly handle that if she decided she's gonna have a girlfriend or a wife. And as long as I know, and you ain't bringing, as long as I know, and you ain't got a whole bunch of extra shit going on.
Every dude want a bitch with another girlfriend. It's always when you add another dick in the mix, everybody want to get all gun ho and rah, 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 rah. I just be thinking, like, I wish you had that much mouth when it came to with the things that y'all was lacking.
Well, what it is I was speaking from men who fall into that category. I think because every man kind of sizes himself up. Well, I'm not gonna say every man. I'm not gonna speak for every man, but most men size themselves up. And they want to feel like, what, I'm able to do this and do this and do that. And a certain pride as a man, you feel like, damn, that kind of hurts that I can't fulfill her in all these different ways and she needs to go. And so I think it hits the pride and the ego a little bit more. And many men can't deal with that hit to their ego. And I get it. I mean, and sometimes it is true. Sometimes this man is able to do all these other things better than you, but it's still hard that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of dudes to face that and just feel like, I'm perfectly fine. Whereas I feel more women are a little bit stronger at being able to handle something like that than most men. I don't know, just my thoughts.
I think so too. I think I've noticed that it be a lot of men. Man, a man's ego is super fragile, y'all. I don't know if y'all knew that. A man's ego is fragile as a bitch. And there ain't no money that can buy that motherfucker. Y'all got blue chew pills and some more shit, but y'all ain't got a pill to fix that fucking ego yet. I need
and that's what I'm saying. I'm being real and honest about it. I think that our egos are a lot more fragile than women's. I'm not saying that there aren't women who it's tough. Things like that would be tougher for them, but I think that in that way, I think emotionally women are stronger than us in many of those ways, being able to deal with it. Just like a woman who's sexually assaulted. I think many women rebound from that far better than men do. I'm just saying. And so I think maybe that's part of some of the gifts that we were given, whereas men naturally kind of have more physical strength than women. I feel like
Yes.
in certain ways, women are going to have more emotional strength. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's the balance there, because either way you look at it, both have ways of overpowering the other.
Mm-hmm.
And that emotional and mental strength that a woman has can negate that physical strength of a man.
Mm-hmm. And it disarms a lot. Now I love you,
Hmm.
Thomas, but I'm gonna go ahead and joke on you right quick for a second because you said I guess I'm old fashioned as you prefer the one man, one woman rule. Baby, we talking about old fashioned ways. That's what we talking about. Back in
Well,
the
well,
day,
here's
they
the
had those
thing.
women.
Yeah, because if you go outside, especially
Uh-huh.
outside of Euro culture,
Yes.
that is more the norm. It became Euro culture, the one man, one woman thing. That's where that got. I
Uh-huh.
mean, and plenty of native tribes that's definitely not how things went always. Especially when you go into some that were more about the two spirits and things like that. And so
Come on.
the
Come on.
whole concept of the whole one man, one woman honestly came from a
Eurocentric.
lot of Eurocentric, and it had to do with forcing the one woman thing, at least because a lot of those men didn't want to have no women. Um,
Ooh, 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 ooh. We don't want to talk about. Hey, we're not talking about the minister of music today. We're not going to talk about the
hey,
minister of music right now.
a lot of the men had to be forced to have a wife so that they could carry on their lineage, because many of them wasn't trying to carry on their lineage, and
Mm-hmm.
many of them didn't carry on their lineage. They had somebody else carry on their lineage.
Ooh, child. We talking
So
that
while
shit today.
many of them were living these lavender marriages, whether we know it or not.
Oh man. Ooh, child.
So I'm sorry if I just if I cracked the seal on some things we weren't about to go into yet, but
Yeah, okay. Look, Yonita said shush. Yonita told you to shush. Shush, Marcus. Girl, I had to get up and walk around, okay? Because I knew it was coming. You heard, I just dropped that one little note. That's Eurocentric. Go ahead, Marcus. I'm gonna drop the mic.
hey, I'm
Baby.
just I'm just saying it was a whole. I mean, they used to if we go into like Plato and Socrates and a lot of the Greek philosophers, they believe
Mhm.
if you did not mess with another man, you could never reach full intellectual,
Enlightenment.
yeah,
Enlightenment.
intellectual enlightenment. And
Yeah,
then
they
to reach the ultimate level, you had to be willing to go a little bit further, and I won't
ooh,
even say
child.
what that term is. And
Ooh, child.
you get locked up for that these days, and it's
Yeah,
considered pretty damn disgusting. And just having photographs of that can get you sent away. Y'all know
yeah.
what I'm talking about. And so
Come
this
on.
is what a lot of the Greek philosophers were thinking. And keep in mind, these Greek philosophers, many of Europe was buying into these theories. Yes, Yonina, exactly. If y'all know what I'm
Baby,
talking about, read the chat.
yeah, yeah, because they like, hey, they said they were saying that you didn't reach full enlightenment until your prostate got fondled.
Got yeah,
First off, that's level
yeah,
one enlightenment. That's level one enlightenment to get to like,
yeah.
uh-huh.
Oh,
That next level,
you had to
you had to do
become a
some weird shit.
PDF. You had to become a
Yeah, yeah,
PDF.
yeah, baby, and that's where
Yeah.
chomos came from.
So that's what I'm saying. So Europe was on some other stuff that many other cultures we wasn't messing with. That it only came after the Europeans
Boom.
kind of dominated damn near everybody, and they start forcing a lot of their cultural beliefs on others.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite books that my friend ever gifted me,
Oh
just to
shit!
give y'all
What's up, E? Yeah, yeah. You walked into the crazy
wild
part of the
combo,
combo,
wild
wild part of
combo,
the
bro.
combo.
So this is one of my favorite books that my friend ever gifted me, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a section in here that speaks about alchemy and like rituals and stuff. They talk about marriage. Get this book if y'all don't got it, because the book is bomb. The book is bomb as hell. But I'm just gonna read it right quick because it talks about Passover on the next page. So
Mm,
it goes for Christians, the marriage of a man and a woman also symbolizes the union of the believer with the church. They
mm,
literally made us utilizing what our natural God given gift is, which is to procreate. They found a
mm-hmm.
way to connect it to the fucking church. That's that's the Eurocentric church on top of that. Because you're not telling me that's not how it was in Europa.
Yeah.
That's not how it is in anybody else's shit. Okay,
Mhm.
the idea that a marriage can signify the union of a human being with his or her God is extant in many different cultures. The Catholic nun is called a bride of Christ, and they never get married.
Yeah.
They never have kids. They never have a husband. They never get touched on unless they're getting touched on at the church, which that's a different story.
But but you know that goes back to them pagan beliefs of talking about the crone and the virgin and all these other their pantheon of gods, which they molded into their new religion of Catholicism. I mean,
yeah,
keep in mind if we're going back to like biblical, the real biblical beliefs. I mean, Jacob literally married sisters.
come on,
Sisters, blood sisters. So
the
yo,
next
I'm
line
just saying.
says, in the ancient cultures of Greece, India, and the Orient, Asian, temples were dedicated to the practice of sacred prostitution, part of an antique fertility ritual wherein sexual intercourse, a sacred marriage in quotations, was practiced for a religious purpose. In Hebrew, the word for harlot originally meant the same as shrine prostitute.
Which that goes back to the the Astereth pole.
Uh-huh.
Because the women would kind of float around this pole area and men were picking them up as prostitutes back then in the Bible.
Mm-hmm. The veil worn by the bride, lifted by the groom, not only symbolized the removal of her virginity, but her introduction to a new state of being. Okay, y'all say, I'm just saying, marriage is wild. Marriage is wild. How they've made it like into this wild, marriage is wild.
Oh yeah, Michael, I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm just saying that it's pervasive in multiple cultures, multiple cultures. And this whole mindset of one woman, one man coming from Abrahamic faiths is kind of a falsehood. It all got taken from Paul's writing, basically saying like, if you can't, because he said a man should just be single. Yeah, but if you feel this need on yourself to insatiable lust, then go take a wife. And so that got turned around to one woman, one man. And that's not what the book was talking about. Now, and I would go into the fact of many cultures had many of these shared beliefs and cultures. And I don't think that goes into something disproving the Bible or proving, because I believe that many shared belief systems and all that branched out and were shared through an understanding of God's law, in a sense, were shared through different lenses, certain rules. That's all I'm saying. And so I don't feel like through God's law it was ever, one man, one woman. I don't think that was what it was. Yes, monogamy was definitely invented by Christians.
Boo! All the shit that they none of this stuff they do. I told you I be booing people. I'm sorry. It's so natural now that I got the kids doing. I just be booing people off.
And when I say Christians, actually, I'll say Catholics more than anything. The reason why is because the earliest Christians were called were Hebrews, and so that was just, in fact, the people who call themselves Catholics in that day hated Christians because their beliefs were so different. It just over time it evolved that Catholics and all the people who believed in like so-called Christianity all became Christians. But the earliest Christians' beliefs were a lot more tied to Hebrews than anything of what modern Christianity is. And so modern Christianity, what they did is they took a lot of their different pagan beliefs and fused them into a new belief system of Catholicism. And that's what the Roman Catholic Church did. There's so many
Mhm.
things that the Roman Catholic Church does that are antithetical to the Bible. And
Mhm.
then that's where they got this whole doctrine of discovery and going around and conquering and taking this. And anybody who wasn't part of their, anybody who wasn't basically a Catholic, they can go and enslave and do all that. That all came from their already previous belief systems in paganism.
Yep.
That wasn't like something that the Bible told them to do. They came up
That's
with
it.
that shit on their own, and they used the Bible as a mask to hide behind.
Or and to build off of Marcus right now about how the Bible, because I saw that Mike was like, "Whoa, monogamy is created by Christianity." Didn't know that. Do fact. Check me out on this one. Let me give you this one. Let me give you this one. It wasn't until Catholics noticed, or excuse me, it wasn't until the king knew that if he only fucked with niggas and was like, "Hey, only the Pope, y'all popes and y'all Catholic motherfuckers, y'all can't have no families, y'all can't have no kids," because at the end of the day, when they decide to give their life over to become a pope or they work in these Catholic positions, they wanted to make sure that anything that they gained came back to the church, quote unquote. And who's the church? The king. The king is in charge of the church. The king is the church. So King James and shit was out here and was like, "Hey, all my pastors and shit, y'all can't have wives. Why not? Because then that would make you have kids. And if you have an heir, your heir would then get everything you want. But on top of that, back at this time, only people that could be popes and like archbishops and shit like that, the only popes and archbishops were motherfuckers that had some lineage. Now let's go back to this whole niggas didn't want to have wives shit. So now you're in a bracket of time where men were literally trying to fuck on each other instead of keeping a wife. So what they do? Hey, you like fucking on boys and shit? Come over here. Let's teach you the Bible. And we're gonna send you out in the world and we're gonna tell you to teach people about the Bible. And now you got your popes, now you got your bishops, now you got your pastors, not having kids, not getting wives. Now you got these nuns, not procreating, not having kids, not having wives. But at the end of the day, all these motherfuckers were rich. They all came from very wealthy homes. They all came from very educated people. You can't be educated and broke, bitch. So no, they only picked up the smart, reading ass rich motherfuckers. So that when they inherit their parents' heirs, the land, the house, the money, the church gets it. And what does that mean? That means the king gets it. And now here we are.
And let's add in also a lot of the early church fathers and stuff like that were basically just members of the royal family who weren't in line for succession. And so they decided to go into the popehood so they can have some form of authority. So
like police officer.
I mean, and I wanted to bring this also up. What was it? Nero was known for like literally like
burning Greece
crucifying so many so-called Christians, and that was in the era of when you were starting to have the rise of Christianity. I mean, Catholicism were starting to rise on the other side of that during this time period. So this whole mindset of that Catholics and Christian was always this interchangeable thing is not necessarily accurate.
That's y'all look, that's y'all religion history for today. We getting off of this. We're gonna get off the religious boat.
Well, what we'll do is we'll parlay a little bit of history from there, because when you start going into another reason why they didn't want them to have titles and lands and all that, it started going into more money into the papacy. And the papacy was almost like a secret king, which was over all of Europe. So, and then that goes into the Knights Templar, who were doing their own dirt, and then which leads us into a lot of the modern systems that we're in today. What does this say there? What's Thomas? Moment for this of all. What else is some other stuff that's going on this week? We've had there's been some interesting topics we've been hitting on, but going ahead, hop into it, talk about it.
Reed got dropped to a schedule of 3 stuff. What? That's what y'all care about right now? Nigga, there's another government shutdown around the corner. Y'all worried about the weed? Diddy is out here doing Diddy shit, and y'all worried about the weed? That's what y'all worried about. I'm sick. I am sick, bro.
Well, that's the reason why I think Trump is getting flamed more and more right now. Because they're like, yo, you ain't even winning right now. I mean, look at all the shit that you focused on.
Yes, because he think telling us about some funky ass weed is gonna make us forget that we about to be broke as fuck, or that we're printing more money, or the fact that I don't know why motherfuckers ain't paying attention to the pennies. Can we talk about the pennies? Do y'all understand how I've been on this penny? I had to tell my brother about this. I've been on this penny shit for years. Ever since COVID and this fucking coin shortage. How is there a fucking coin shortage, y'all? Does that even fucking make sense? Won't no coin shortage when the fucking goddamn housing market went to shit. But all of a sudden now we got a coin shortage when niggas catch a cold. Cool.
How is it a coin shortage when most people don't even use coins these days?
All right. That's another fucking thing. Hear me out. All right. I was watching this me and my brother watch a lot of funny videos of hood shit. You know what I'm saying? We just watch some hood videos. One in particular, this dude went on like a murdering rampage. He was a hood ass gang member. He was he was pretty much confessing to the police about what he did this one night. He killed like 8 people in one night, right? Or one weekend. Well, he came out and was like, well, I was just in a killing mood. So I said, you know what? I need to go find Mike. I said, damn, what the fuck did Mikey do? Mikey owed this nigga $8.
He ready to hunt him down.
I'm hoarding all of them. So he was like, he was pissed off. He was in a killing mood. He finna go find Mikey. What did Mikey do? Mikey owed him $8. He went around the block to where Mikey be at, could not find Mikey for this $8. Went and shot somebody else that owed him 12. Cool. I'm looking at my brother in shock because I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, you know how mad you got to be at somebody to get a $5 bill and 3 extra ones? I said, niggas don't even carry that type of shit in their pocket these days, right? Let's bring it back to pennies. Pennies are copper. That is the only copper coin that we ever had, okay? Thank you. The coins are not worth producing anymore. They cost more than they are worth. Now they are bullshitting about it too. Now check me out. Because they making more dollars. They still printing dollar bills though. They still printing dollar bills and our fucking paper money don't matter. Let's talk about that part. But anyway, pennies were the only copper fucking coin that we had. Y'all know anything about how good copper is on the body, how good copper is on humans? It vibrates at a different frequency, XYZ. Back in the day, dimes used to be 100% silver. They're not anymore. And now we got nickels. Cool. Then you got quarters. All right. Me, as a spiritualist, I feel they got rid of the bells. They're getting rid of copper pennies. I just feel that they're finding ways to really like disconnect us to continue to be as aware, not woke, but as aware of and kind of like take down our defense mechanisms for the shit that they about to do. Because what I don't understand is y'all getting rid of copper pennies, but you're building data centers. Do you hear what I'm saying? We're getting rid of copper. We're getting rid of a conduit that helps and assists humans, but we are building more data centers. It's not the fact that we are not spending money. It's not the fact that the money is not there. It's got some weird ass undertones to it. And I just don't like the weird ass undertones. Why don't they make 50-cent pieces no more, yo, Nina? How about that? Why did they stop making $50? Why did they stop making them gold dollar fucking coins? You can't even get one of them no more. Those were gold plated. 50-cent pieces were 100% silver.
I'm trying to remember. Maybe I'm tripping, but didn't they have one coin that was like worth $5 or something like that?
Yes. Why did they stop making them in coin form? And they gave us this piece of shit paper. Why are they taking away Why are they taking away the natural metals? That's what I want to know. Why are y'all taking away the natural metals?
Well, and also I want to put Thomas's comment up here. Copper was sacred to many Native American cultures of North America for the reasons Voodoo explained. She knows her stuff. I would also say there are many tribes within Africa who also had those same belief systems. about copper and many of the metallurgy that was used to help us.
Me getting my IFA together because I'm getting my IFA and shit. So Ogun is the entity that it's a mix. Yes.
You talking
early
about
70s.
oh, never mind.
Go ahead,
I'll
answer that. Go ahead.
well, I was about to say never mind. I'll let you speak on Ogun because you're definitely the more knowledgeable person here. So let me stay in my place.
It's okay. I want you to piggyback off it when you know. But Ogun is the deity in reference to metalwork.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I brought him up off the fact of that's an African traditional story that talks about a man. He's not the deity of war. He's the deity of metal work.
Yep.
If you got a whole entity that is just focusing on metal, that means they're precious. He's not the entity of paper. He's not the entity of paper money. No, they have an entity about metal. And you're telling me that for years we have been using a bartering system in which we take precious metal things that we can fucking hold in our hand and we trade that for important things that we need that can keep our sustainability up. And yet they are taking them away and nobody feels like they need to be in an uproar about it. And yes, I'm hoarding all the motherfucking pennies, bitch. You goddamn right. I'm keeping every penny I can fucking find. When y'all see me, I'm gonna be out here looking like King Lancelot with a whole goddamn popper from head to toe penny goddamn night suit. Huh. Damn right I'm gonna goddamn keep my pennies.
Yeah, I like what Fire Chipper has said in there. Pennies aren't copper. Maybe since early 70s, and that's true. They've swapped out a lot of these things, and it goes back farther than we've realized. And so I think it's for multiple purposes. By using cheaper metals and by using cheaper metals, aluminum has been mixed in too with a lot of these to also and zinc, because these are more plentiful metals and they're not considered as worth nearly as much. And it makes them, I guess it's supposed to be anti-corrosive and things like that too. But by using these, it gets away. I think what they're trying to do, honestly, is they know that more people are starting to go back to trying to find more ancient remedies, whether those be ones that have come in that will be shared beliefs with different tribes, whether those be tribes worldwide or whether it's just different cultures in general, because you have different belief systems, whether they be in the early Americas or I'm trying to figure out what's the best name. I guess we'll just say Turtle Island. That's probably better to say instead of tying it to America. But I guess I'll say Turtle Island. Or Thomas, if you can give me a better term for what they call the Americas, because anytime I say Americas, I feel like I'm tying it to modern day. But to Africa or Akibalan, and to the Asian continent, there are many belief systems, and I feel like because of the travel that happened with various different tribes, knowledge was passed on through many different areas, and there were certain things that I felt were more of a common just knowledge, that this helps with this, that helps with that. For instance, like coffee. Coffee a lot of times dates back to Ethiopia, where a goat farmer noticed he noticed that his goats were eating these berries and getting all hyper and jumping around and stuff like that. And he went and tasted some of it and noticed, oh wow, this really works. And that knowledge passed all the way from there to all the way to places like Nepal. And for that shows me right there how well knowledge travels. I mean, even to the way that color dye was created with cochineal worms. That's a practice which you see within the Levant. You see that through all different parts of so-called South America, and many other places somehow figured this art of taking these worms off of trees and smashing them and using whether that be acidic materials or oils and all those different things to create all of these different colors to dye clothes with, which there are some tribes to this day who use that. There are places in India that are still using that, in Mexico that are using that. So it's just interesting, some of these knowledges that's been passed. And they used to even with some of the books of was it apothecary,
Yeah.
where people are starting to have more skepticism towards a lot of these pharmaceuticals and man-made creations, are trying to go back to, you know, trying to go back to the basics, in a sense, go back to what our ancestors used, no matter whose ancestors we're talking about. But y'all follow me, hopefully.
I did. I'm picking up what you put down.
Okay. But yeah, that's all I had to say on that. Yeah, I'm with you. Turtle Island works for most Native Americans today, as ideal come from the Eastern tribe. Okay, then that's what I'll stick with Turtle Island when I'm referring to pre-American times. Emmanuel says here, we've been losing the recipes for centuries, especially when we lose the indigenous language / native tongues. That is big facts right there. And I feel like that's part of it, partially intentional. Now, some of it, I think, because of some of these other tribes, they're knowledgeable on ways of destruction, but not on ways of building and healing. And so, because a lot of Europeans will be so prideful on how they were able to destroy and dominate and poison and whatever, kill, steal, or whatever to get ahead and take over, not understanding how much that they destroyed. Because I mean, they would go into these different areas, like what was it? Outside of the Library of Alexandria, the library in Timbuktu was known to be one of the most plentiful libraries with the most combined knowledge worldwide. That when Europeans went in, they just obliterated. And like how much stuff was lost, how much knowledge was lost from, just European destruction of different areas, just so that they could go after gold or spices. I don't know. It's infuriating when you think about it.
I'm gonna get my Michael Irvin bag. I don't know if you know what clip I'm about to talk about, but Marcus, you seen that clip where Michael Irvin was like, "These young bitches can't cook. We losing recipes."
I mean, it's big facts there. It's big facts there.
It's true though. I felt him when he said we are losing the recipes. I ain't trying to be funny, but we losing. Have you noticed that, like, throughout the last, like, maybe I'll even say just recently, from COVID to now, like, we losing how to be who we supposed to be. Everybody want to do all this inclusivity shit. Da, 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 da. I'm not saying we need to be segregated, but we're losing what makes us us.
No, I feel what you're saying. One thing I've always loved, I love the term of that we should be more like a salad bowl instead of a melting pot. I like the fact that, let's say this person comes from South Africa and they're sharing all of their different beliefs and history, culture, music, and then you bring this person who is from, Madagascar, and they got this going on, and you bring this person from Indonesia and they have this going on, and they're able to come to a place like America and have somewhat of a shared culture, enjoying football, beer, this and that, but also being able to bring these things that have been passed down from generations and generations. And I hate the fact that people are feeling this need to want to mold into this monoculture. And then you get, the cheap Americanized tacos versus the authentic stuff versus you get what I'm saying?
Hello.
It starts to lose that soul of the ancestors coming from all these different places, and how they were able to bless us with aspects of their culture that are different and separate for this commercialized fusion bullshit.
Thomas, I just made me pine needle Sprite. I guess that's what I would consider it. Like, if you ferment pine needles, it carbonates your water. Did you know that? Did you know that, Marcus? If you take pine needles off a tree, put it in some water with some sugar, it will ferment and turn into soda.
Didn't know
Come
that.
on, god damn it. Come on, Thomas. Go ahead and let me know if I'm right, baby. Because he said go in there and get some sage and get some pine leaves. I promise you, Marcus, I took a thing of pine leaves, I put it in a little bottle of water with some sugar. That bitch is Sprite. That bitch is Sprite. I promise you. Best Sprite I've had. It tastes like bomb ass ginger ale. But
And that
it
probably
fermented on its own.
and that's probably where where a lot of people come with if you're sick, drink ginger ale. Probably because the ginger ale was almost like a cheaper I don't know, cheaper modern version of
Mm-hmm.
what Thomas is talking about here with the sage and pine needles.
Cause like
I,
what?
I mean that was something like when you go back into like the ancient Hebrews, the tribe of Levi, one of their big things that they did were they were all about all of these different herbs and all that, and they would have been considered like a witch doctor.
Yes, they are, because they the Haitian tribe, baby. Because I'm a Levi. If I was a Hebrew
And so
Israelite, I would have been a Levi.
yeah, and so that gets passed down, and all that gets whitewashed out to Christianity because they don't
Hello.
care nothing about real following the history and cultures. Like, let's say, for instance, for a minute, let's take a pause, and let's not gonna go argue about divinity for a second. Let's just talk about understanding the customs and cultures of a different people and a tribe and things like that. And that was one thing that you can see historically that's passed down. How they believe that different metals did this, how they believe that and well the other tribe of Issachar, how they believed in reading the stars and understanding time and understanding navigation and all these things like that, and how these ancient tribes would use just the things around them to understand their reality and keep them sustain and sustenance and understand how things affect you. And you see aspects of that all through different tribal societies worldwide. That's the reason why I'm always down with the whole BIPOC thing, dealing with blacks and indigenous people.
You see I got my Hebrew Israelite pamphlet.
Oh shoot. About the sculpture. Yeah, you do.
I do.
Well, which camp is that from?
I don't know. I got this from the man that was screaming in the middle of the street at white people in Richmond.
What color clothes was he wearing? I'll probably tell you.
Purple and gold. He looked like a Lakers player.
IUIC. I know exactly who they are.
Yeah, he gave me this, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm a Levi."
Yeah, that's Israel United in Christ. I know who they are.
He was out there screaming at white people.
Yeah, but that's where kind of in the development stage where I feel that I am. For one, I've never agreed with their approach, and I've heard people try to defend the approach. Oh, because Christ was an austere man, and it says, yeah, austere. And the examples that they point to is because he was chastising people in authority, and that's why he was going as hard as he was. When they talk about the flipping of the tables because of how outrageous those people were, he wasn't going after the average person that way. And I feel like their approach is just I don't agree with the approach. Doesn't mean that I don't agree with a lot of aspects of things that they say, and there's even things which I can go into and nitpick and this and that. But I'm just saying, I definitely know all the camps inside and out, all the major camps anyway. If you would in fact, I used to be in touch quite a bit with members of Sakari. That used to be the people where I would kind of say would be my spiritual elders in a sense. But that for the people who know who they are, they know. For people who don't, yeah. But I'm just saying, if you get past a lot of the dogmatic stuff and just focus on, like I focused a lot on history when I was coming into it. I wasn't even focusing on is Christ God and this and that. And with Paul, I wasn't focused on that. Just try to understand them as a people, a time period, culture, what life was like, what was food like, how was travel, how was this, how was that, and taking it from understanding from a historical lens and putting that in comparison with other cultures to get a grasp of who these people were. Then of course always understanding the people, then you get into understanding the religion. And I feel like any person who cares about history or is a historian should do this for every culture. When I was studying European history and studying Great Britain and things like that, I tried to understand what life was like for a person who would have been in this different area. What was their framework of their society, how that was set up, what was the food like, what was the weather like, to try to put myself in that place in that time. And that's kind of how my approach to looking at history has always been. And so I cared more a lot of times about understanding the laws, understanding their buildings and stuff. Because growing up in the church, they give you this impression like everybody's living in basically tents and stuff. Not that people are living in, basically castles. Not that they had sophisticated armor or anything, because some of them did actually have, armor and different things like that. I don't know. It's just fascinating to me. I'm sorry, nerding out for a little while on history.
Got every right to nerd out, big dog.
Yeah. It was something that I was meaning to bring up. I did have one actual topic. Oh, yeah, that's right. Shout out to my cousin. Shout out to Ladarius. Ladarius sent me something. I just kind of wanted to bring this up. It was kind of interesting. He said Blue Springs, Missouri, which for those who are not familiar with the area, Blue Springs is like right outside of Kansas City. It's kind of to the south in Missouri. So Blue Springs becomes Missouri's first flock safe city with drone technology. Blue Springs Department will use drones to respond to emergency calls within 2 minutes as part of a 10-year, $4.6 million technology contract. So let's read a little bit. They have approved a 10-year contract to become Missouri's first flock safe city, which there will be more of those coming along. Introducing drone as first responder technology to enhance public safety operations. I guess it feels like it's just repeating a lot of the stuff. It is something the police chief has been looking into for over a year, and it aligns with the city's 2025 strategic plan. Drone as first responders is where you can fly the drone to a crime, and hopefully your response time will be about 2 minutes. Blue Springs Police Chief Bob Moons said, goal is to get eyes on the scene, whatever it may be, before the officers get there. And then we can say, okay, an officer is needed at the intersection or near this crime scene, or there is no accident at the intersection. We can put the officer somewhere else. Blue Springs Police Department has been utilizing technology in policing for years. The city currently operates around 50 flock license plate reader cameras and has access to enhanced search features for crime solving. The police department uses Flock's live 911 call streaming into officers' vehicles to reduce response times, along with state-of-the-art mobile command center. Moons emphasizes that the new technology isn't designed to replace police officers, but to better allocate resources. The department plans to add 2 more positions to its real true crime center to support the expanded operations. The 10-year contract will be funded through the city's public safety sales. Flock presentation to the city council on Monday stated that this bundled contract will be cost saving for the city rather than paying for its services separately. So department expects to have a complete flock safety program operational by June 2026, coinciding with the FIFA World Cup. So that's just something that I wanted to put out there. I don't know. It's interesting. What's your thoughts on that?
Are we talking about data center?
We're talking about they're going to have drone technology that's going to be responding like first responders, which
no, I don't even want to hear it right now because I got to fight a ticket right now. I'm fighting the ticket right now.
Well, that's what they're using. They're using the Flock technology for that right now.
Yes, they are, and I don't like it.
So, you know, when
They've
you
already
see,
they
sorry, go on.
falsified a ticket. They've already falsified a ticket for me. In reference to this whole after speed trapping as picture shit. No, that
Hmm.
shit's wrong. That shit's wrong. It's wrong as fuck. They don't need to be doing it. It's faulty. It ain't even good. It'd be
Hmm.
different if it was actually doing its job right. It's terrible. It sucks. I don't even like the flawed cameras in the first fucking place. Reading my license plate, bitch, come do your fucking job. How about there? Just come do
Hmm.
your fucking job. That's all you got to do. Do your damn job. And if they
I,
did their job, then if they did their job right, let me just say it. Let me be very
hmm.
clear on that. Y'all need to do y'all job right. If y'all did y'all job right, y'all wouldn't be sitting here having to goddamn have motherfucking drones and all this other dumbass shit doing the job for you. Now the other crazy part is I actually have a friend in my neighborhood whom I grew up with became a cop later down the line. And I was like, damn, you look like the type to be a cop. But nevertheless, he's a cop now, right? Why the fuck is he head of the drone department in our fuck? I said,
Oh, we're gonna have to deal with it. They're gonna be rolling it out everywhere. I'm telling you, by 2030, America's gonna be a very different looking place.
ugh,
It's gonna be a very different looking place. And
crazy.
I mean, I could see how somebody would think that this would be a good idea and how they would want to do something like this. Because let's say, for instance, if your house is being broken into, they'd be able to get eyes on whoever is doing it right away. But I fear, no, that's not what's going to happen. By the time they get eyes over there, they're just going to pinpoint on whoever was close to that house around that time. And you're going to have,
Mm-hmm.
if it's an area that has a lot of foot traffic, you're just going to have random people getting shit pinned on them. That's what I worry about more with something like this. I worry that the drone is also sometimes, if it cars that are multiple cars that are the same color, you have multiple cars that are rolling through an area that are similar colors, and let's say two cars are speeding. Well, by the time it's activated, it might get there and hit your car as the one when you weren't the one who were speeding. Or in the case of like going through a yellow light and the light turns red, I think that it's going to sometimes be hitting the wrong people. And that's my issue with it, that people are going to get reliant on this technology. And when they get reliant on this technology, you're going to have people who are innocent of things that they're going to just say, oh, well, no, you think the technology is wrong? And the technology is going to be wrong. I mean, they've already found the issues with the facial recognition stuff. And that's because of the way it's been programmed in by people's personal biases that are giving problems. I mean, it's the same thing if you go back to film in the 80s and 90s. The film was created with people of lighter complexion in mind. And what it would do often is it would people of darker complexions, it wouldn't capture them properly. And
Nope.
so it would distort features, or not capture it just didn't photograph us in our best light, but had people who were white in their best light. And then finally they corrected it, and now everybody is able to, the photo technology is able to work for everybody. I mean, you still seem to see some of those problems with filters, whereas if, let's say, you're darker and somebody's lighter and they take a picture, it might make them look better in the picture, but make you look worse because maybe they want to put some bronzer or something in the picture to make them look a little darker. Now it makes you look a lot darker. Now it distorts your features. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm-hmm.
might take
Mm-hmm.
your
Mm-hmm.
pretty yellows and red undertones out of the picture. I mean, granted, I do that enough to myself because I'm always wearing a freaking hat and you have a shade over my face. But um, but I don't know if you see me. I don't know if you were to see me up close. In my face, I have kind of reddish undertones, and in my arms, I have kind of yellowish undertones. I don't know where that comes from, but just saying.
That Native American in you. Yeah.
I don't know. You see, kind of more of a, well, I don't know. With the light, it's giving me a yellowish color. But if you see like my arms and stuff, well, and my arms are in the sun more, but like if you were going a little higher up, my shoulders and stuff, you get a little bit more. I don't know. You can't tell the light's making everything the same color. So, but I don't know. You can tell I work. You can tell I work inside now, which is weird because from going to Florida, my neck is still darker. It's still holding on to that darker tan from being out in the sun. I don't know. Oh yeah, did you hear anything? Speaking about being outside, did you hear anything about a weird fog that we're having out in LA?
Yeah, it's everywhere, and I think that goes back to our conversation we had last week about me and that goddamn uh
Oh,
what do we call it?
ruddy.
Weather engineering or whatever.
I really a listen here.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta I feel like I need to speak on this first and foremost because
okay.
You know how everybody I was telling y'all that I wasn't really with everybody on some of the stuff, and I'm a little bit more skeptical. This right here that's going on, I am 1000% in y'all camp on this. Something ain't right about this. It's even a weird smell. It's even a weird smell in the air.
Go ahead. There you go. I'm gonna let you finish.
I mean, it almost feels like there's some kind of chemical shit that's going on. I don't know what it is. Granted, I know I'm speaking locally and speaking about my area, and everybody's not out in California. In fact, majority are not. But right now, every morning and every night, there's this crazy huge fog that's sitting over everything. So I don't know what's going on with this freaking fog. It does not seem natural. It's all right to fight with me. That's what makes everything fun. We're not always going to agree on everything, and that's what makes it,
Listen, it's okay, y'all. We tried to tell Marcus last week. They fucking with the shit. They making the frogs gay.
I've never said that they're not, but right now something is fucking going on.
I just find it funny how your FBI agent was like, "Hold my beer. I'm gonna get Marcus." Hold on, we got him. Send in the fog, quote unquote.
I don't know what the hell is going on with this fog. Let me see if I can pull up something on TikTok or something, because this LA fog don't feel right. Yeah, man. And I'm one of those people. If the weather is fine, I like to drive my windows down as much as possible. Hell, there's been some times where I've had my heat on with the windows down. I know it's crazy. Don't make sense.
No, I do the same thing. I put my window. I'll crack my window and have the heat blazing on my feet. Let it rise up a little bit. But sometimes I just need that cool breeze. I can't have heat.
Yeah, I like fresh air, and the air do not. I've been keeping my windows up. That's why I'm like, this something ain't right with this shit. I don't know, but yeah, going ahead too. You talk while I try to find something on this. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Y'all niggas, we just gotta wait sometimes. Our FBI agent will be coming in. All the people that was like, he's right, is weather engineering. Look, I ain't gonna beat no dead horse. I'm just gonna let the horse come back alive and die again. Okay. That's what I do. And I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to come because soon as one of my homies told me about the fog, the same fog that I seen one night, soon as he told me that shit, I said, damn, this is going to be a motherfucking doozy this motherfucking winter. Bruh, that don't make no sense. The shit thick as hell. Shit thick as hell and motherfuckers just breathing it in, fitting to die. What? What? It's insane work.
Yeah, I got something. I'm about to send this. Yeah, I had to put on my other headphones real quick for my phone, and I'm gonna send this over and show y'all this. Let's see. So yeah, just bear with me while I send this over. All right. right, there it is. Okay, cool. Because I'm like, I'm like, maybe I need to show it to y'all so y'all can get what I'm talking about. Like, this is like, this fog is different. Like, and you got to remember, LA is not an area that has a lot of precipitation. Pause. Oh, pause. Wait a minute. Okay, so now let me share this on the screen. When you see it, it even looks weird. All right, so, oh, there we go. Dang it. Oh, that's right. I got mine. So let's see. Okay.
Kids were flying when their plane crashed at Statesville Regional Airport in North
Echo.
Carolina.
It's echo.
This will happen at 10:30 this morning. And they were flying in a C-550. They were flying from Florida to the Bahamas. And here's an up-close shot of the plane crash. It seems as though they had crashed just shortly after takeoff. You can see the plane. There have been some really strange reports of what this fog is that we are seeing in Los Angeles. News outlets are calling it radiation fog after massive reports of people feeling dizzy, feeling odd, feeling sick, and a ton of other symptoms. Honestly, just in time for Christmas. And it looks like something out of Welcome to Derry. The way that the fog is just sticking around is oddly suspicious. And right now they're saying that the fog that has radiation in it spans 400 miles and affects 13 million people. That's not even including the wildlife. They say that they've tested the fog. They found large amounts of radiation in it. And some of the symptoms that you might experience is feeling off, unbalanced, mild headaches. But there's no mention as to how the radiation got into the fog and what caused all of this. You've probably seen it if you live in Los Angeles and probably have already breathed it in. And you also probably have noticed that the winds have been picking up, meaning that this is going to carry the fog even further. I'll keep you guys up to date as we know more. There have been some really strange reports of what the
Yeah, so that's some of it that I'm seeing. I'm like, I don't know what the hell this is. This shit feel weird. Or
So
I
on
think there's
June
another.
4th, 2025, a meteorologist talked about it.
Mhm.
And it's been going on since June in other areas. June, y'all.
Yeah.
So, and they're pretty much saying that what happened was they came and put radiation in the ground. And because the way that fog is created, how Earth creates the fog, quote unquote, a cooling ground and a, you know what I'm saying, higher temperatures, lower temperatures, you get the radiation, you get the fog, but because the moisture is coming out of the radiative ground that we already have, that's why radiation fog is so thick. Bro, they've been talking about this shit since June. This
Yeah,
shit is
but
not
we
new. Y'all just getting y'all portion of it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what we've just been getting. It's been like everybody's like, what the hell is this?
Because in September it was Minnesota. In March it was. Let me see. Because I've been keeping up with it. Because this is I can't wait to talk to Steve about it again. Because this is our second one.
Is this about dropping dropping the numbers down?
I believe it is.
Because I'm wondering if they trying to put something out where now we all gonna be feeling like crap in a little bit.
I'm telling you, yeah. And then
I'm
y'all gonna blame it, quote unquote, flu season or the fact that y'all got head colds, y'all sick or whatever have you on the vid 2.7, 8.6, whatever the fuck we're at right now. Okay, February was Texas. There we go. So February was Texas. Last year, December was where is this? Where is this? Sandusky, Toledo. In Toledo. Where the fuck is Toledo?
Ohio.
Okay, last year, December was Ohio. December 26th, they had their fucking fall. February 6th, February 7th, we got Texas and Daytona Beach. They had fog. The UK had theirs in October of this year. You get my son. You get my drift. Like they pick and
Somebody
choose.
doing something. Somebody
They
doing
pick and
something.
choose, bro. Last Christmas, Louisiana had the fog. Then old boy lost his mind and killed all those people. Just saying.
Hmm.
Anyway, the fog has been around LA and people are losing their mind and killing their parents. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. You know, I'm just
Well, yeah, I
saying.
mean, that was during that same time period. Yeah.
Last June it was Sydney. Last June it was Sydney. What if they had fog 2 weeks ago or a week ago? You think that's what caused a little fucking, fiasco they had out at the beach?
It's funny that you mentioned that. I got a video on that. I got a video
Okay.
queued up. Not necessarily from the fog angle, but just something I wanted to share. It's something I wanted to share with y'all. See what y'all think about this.
Is it the guy with the fake blood?
It's comedian Sammy Obed. He had some
Okay.
things that he wanted to say, and I just want to. We're doing this for humor, so yeah, I'll just put this out there and see what y'all think
Laugh.
about what he got to say.
Hey, does everybody know the CIA except me? Osama bin Laden had ties to the CIA. Tyler Robinson had ties to the CIA. The CIA has ties to the CIA. What happened to keeping the intelligence central? The suspect, and I'm not going to say his name because I can't pronounce it, came here to the United States under a program called Operation Allies Welcome, which sounds like a cafe in Portland. And under this program, the United States government worked with Afghan nationals to fight Al-Qaeda, an organization that if you work your way high up enough, you can be invited to the White House and shoot hoops after. Like, oh, that was a 3. I learned that in ISIS. The suspect was recruited by the CIA at 15 years old. I can tell you, it is never a good idea to hire a 15-year-old. Nothing ever good comes from hiring a 15-year-old. Just ask Jeffrey Epstein, who also had ties to the CIA. The suspect was allowed to come to the United States in 2021 under Joe Biden because obviously he wasn't paying attention. But he was granted asylum under Trump because, as we know, Trump loves the Habibis. They say that the suspect drove to D.C. from Washington State. It's like the CIA made up a lie but didn't check the work. They're like, oh, there's 2 Washingtons? We should have thought about that before asking ChatGPT. Allegedly, he shouted Allahu Akbar, which for those of you not familiar, that's Arabic for Happy Thanksgiving. Anytime soil, you literally have to fact check everything. It's like a game of true or false flag. Mind you, the National Guard should not even have been in D.C. The reason why the National Guard was in D.C. is because Elon has a friend named Big Balls who got jumped one night by guess who? Some 15-year-olds. Were they also recruited by the CIA? The CIA youth jumping program? So then Trump, aka Small Balls, was like, call the National Guard! Big Balls under attack! 2 individuals who work for the National Guard were shot. One has survived, one has passed away. Her name is Sarah Beckstrom. I Googled her name to look up who she was. Very strangely, her name also happened to be searched 2 days before she was murdered 25 times in a specific country. Can anybody guess what country it is? You guys psychic? When somebody is searched, bookmark Google Trends and regularly check to see if your name is searched in Israel. And if you see your name searched in Israel, run, dude. Just run. Even if it's just that this guy, as Trump said, went cuckoo, we know who's to blame. It's the United States government, dude. And I'm tired of this. You're getting caught now. We have TikTok. We have Google Trends. You got caught slipping. Mind I say, you let your guard down.
You let your guard down. I don't know. What'd you think about that?
Hey, if you connect too many dots, they start connecting a red dot to your head.
Man, exactly.
You
He better be
watch
careful.
it.
He better be
watch
careful
it.
the shit he's saying.
He better fucking watch it, honey.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. They will do that in a heartbeat. You know I'm not lying. They will connect a red dot to your head, a noose around your neck. You accidentally slip on some goddamn a banana peel.
Or you just happened to get mugged and they didn't take anything.
But your life,
Yeah.
crazy.
Tell you, man. Oh, and you hear about the possibility that what's his name? Luigi Mangione, Might be getting released.
I told you. I told you.
I don't know. Interesting things, interesting news going on right now. Oh yeah, there is something that I was researching on. I forgot all about that. I was going to talk about it, but I'll talk about it next week. Apparently they've gotten some images out of Sudan that are wild.
Hold on. I wanted to talk about. I know what I wanted to say before we get too
that's
far
going to
off.
be next week. But yeah, go ahead.
So, what the fuck? The Bondi Beach shooting, whatever. Have you seen the clips of the make believe ass motherfucking? Okay, I don't.
I actually wanted to wait and hear your thoughts on that. I was like, this all sounds so shady to me. I'm gonna just sit back.
There were people outside putting blood on, like on their bodies, and then taking selfies. And I hate when people do shit like this because it makes the conspiracy theorist people look right and crazy at the same fucking time. And that's what irritates my spirit, is because we be right and then they show us how we're right. And when we be like, oh, that looks kind of staged to me. And then here comes the advocates. What about the people that lost their lives? I mean, did they? Do we know?
But see, that's
be sitting here. Go ahead.
Well, I'll say that's where I differ from some of these people. When they'll say false flag, they'll think, well, maybe nobody. I think that they're devious enough that even in their false flags, people still lose their lives.
Getting killed. Yes, that's where I'm saying. Okay, so let's start that. Let's bring. Okay, so I don't want to sound like Alex Jones, but I don't be really mad at Alex Jones a lot. The nigga be right, and I say all that to say this. I remember I was joking with my brother about it, and I was like, bro, this is the worst part about being the woke person in the family, because there's a point where it gets when I'm telling you shit and it kind of falls on deaf ears, because my family's at a point where they're like, well, damn, T, what you want us to do about it? And it's right. What do I want y'all to do about it? I don't know why I'm telling y'all this information, but I just don't want y'all to have this mindset that everything is hunky-dory and the government gives a fuck about us, because they don't. The people that are in charge, it's not just our government. The people that are in charge, they just really in charge. They just do their own thing. I believe Alex Jones because I brought up the fact that they're making the frogs gay, and that's like my favorite little thing to yell out. My brother finds it amusing. I said, but bro, it's the truth. I said, they've been doing scientific studies at the fact that, yes, the pesticides that is in the ground, that's going to be on our broccoli and our potatoes, that's a forever chemical, is dropping down the testosterone rate, increasing estrogen, causing, the frogs to fucking be gay. Frogs are now being born asexual. They don't produce sperm or any, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy as hell that it's affecting something as small as the frogs. Okay, well, if the man tells us that the frogs are fucking gay, when he tells us that Sandy Hook might not be fucking real, you might want to pay attention to it. Because how is the bitch that's at Sandy Hook is also the same bitch that just happened to be at the Rhode Island shit? Brown University getting shot the fuck up? Why was one of their peoples at that one? Or even better, why is the same Jewish dude that was at 9/11 at the Charlie Kirk shooting? Okay, you don't want to do that one? Okay, let's back it up. Why is a nigga at the Bondi shooting throwing blood on himself and then taking a selfie? Caught red-handed. Is there any way that y'all can make this make sense for my conspiracy theorist ass before I start screaming that the frogs is gay again?
See, that's the only area where I guess I disagree with Alex sometimes is they'll go the whole extreme of like the whole thing are fake victims. And I'm like, no, I think in order for them to sell the false flag, they make sure there are real victims.
Yes. What else?
And like now what they do is, in order to make the whole thing go off without a hitch, they make sure that there is a control in there. And that control that they might have are those people who you see is at this one thing over here and managed to be over here at this Charlie Kirk thing also. This is the person who's making sure those operations run through. Just like I believe in Butler, Pennsylvania, that attempted assassination on Trump was fake. Yes. But do I believe that old boy died in the crowd? Oh, yeah. Because I think they don't give a fuck. They do
No,
not
they
have a
definitely
problem
don't.
when killing. They do not have a problem with killing a couple of people to make it go over. In fact, it's harder for people to not believe it's real unless they can credibly be able to show, no, this was a real person who actually died.
Well, y'all need that. I hate to say that y'all, but not y'all like the people in our group or people in our
Well,
chat or the people that watch our show, because y'all are smarter than that. But
well,
to the
uh,
right, to the family members that I'm sitting here trying to convince, they need that shit. They need the. But what about the people that died? Okay, they did
yeah, I'm
like
like
shit
two things can be right at the same time.
at the same time. Exactly, baby. You know how many times I had to. If I ever do something illegal, I need somebody to. What you think I'm calling you for the alibi for?
It's like
Somebody.
I'll give
I
you.
need somebody.
It's like I'm gonna give y'all a movie reference. I know, of course, me to give you a movie reference, but if y'all remember Demolition Man, the
Come
beginning of
on.
Demolition Man, they were like, "There's bodies everywhere," and then he's like, "I did a thermal scan. There was nobody here." Well, because Simon Phoenix already killed everybody. That's the reason why he killed them all, and then made it look like, oh, well, he blew up the building and killed everybody. So yeah, you got real bodies. But were they killed by this explosion or were they already dead?
Come
And
on.
so sometimes it's the story's not always. I mean, oh, perfect example. You need to bringing up JFK. Oh my
Ooh.
goodness, with JFK, man, there was that operation and what's his name? Was it Corey Hughes? Man, when he breaks down like all the different weird stuff that were going on that day along the route and a couple of blocks away, and the multiple different Lee Harvey Oswald lookalikes and all this stuff that was going on. The grassy knoll, and then you look up what's his name? I might be blanking on his first name. Is it Israel Zapruder? And you start just looking all the different ties and different stuff. You said who was Corey Hughes? Corey Hughes, actually, let me get a hold. Steve has a interview with Corey Hughes, and he really did. He dives. I don't think I've seen anybody dive as deep into the JFK stuff and all the ties. I'm telling you, when you see like the case that he'll lay down, or Abraham Zapruder. Thank you, Abraham. Yes, Abraham. You know, so I'm just saying. Like, I didn't know the Zapruder film. I didn't know what nationality Abraham Zapruder was. I did not know that at all.
Really?
I didn't know that until probably what I want to say maybe a year ago or so. I said, "What? Well, wait a minute. What? What? Hold on now." Like, and I saw interviews. Exactly, Yonina. I saw interviews of people from 1960 something that were saying they were talking about how many gunshots they heard, that they saw they heard the sounds coming from the grassy knoll, that they saw clouds of smoke from that direction as if somebody had just shot a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
They saw all that, and then going into, we're not going to go into JFK right now. I'm just saying, but Corey Hughes, if I can find one of his interviews where he's talking, I got to remember who was he on with. I know Wheezy knows him also, but you start looking into that stuff, man, oh man, and then you look into the ties between, because when people say mafia, they say mafia, and one thing, one identity group falls into place automatically. But a second identity group is always kind of just gets dismissed. It's kind of like when you
Apple
make a
juices?
movie. Exactly. It's kind of like when you make a movie and you do show one of the people who was culpable, but you don't show the other side of it. It's like showing Billy the Kid, but not showing Garrett. Hey, he's part of this story too. And for those who don't know, when I'm talking about talking about Garrett. Garrett was a part of Billy the Kid's gang, who eventually became the one who allegedly killed him. But I guess, yeah, that's all I got. I mean, we're at our 3-hour mark.
Oh shit, that was quick. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, well, we had a hell of
We
a
was popping
conversation.
shit today. Yeah, we was popping shit today, y'all. Well,
Yeah.
catch us when after we watch this Dave Chappelle and Marcus finishes the Diddy shit. We're
Well,
gonna
yeah.
do a random impromptu
And-
show
and-
to break that shit down.
And we got another one. I'm gonna put this one out early, because I want everybody. This is everybody's assignment, and I'm gonna say this every week until this movie comes out, because we're gonna do a breakdown on it when it comes out. Till, have you heard of the movie Mercy?
Mercy? No.
Let me find the preview. Let me find the preview of Mercy. I want everybody to watch this movie. I'm making this everybody's homework. When I think it comes out in January. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. Let me click this. Let me pause it.
Chris Pratt. I'm Rebecca.
Sorry.
You're going.
I can't hear.
It's moving too fast. I had to slow it down. So here, now I'm gonna share it on the screen. Here's a preview. So, all right, here it comes. Let me pause but this is the movie that I want everybody to go out and check this movie when it comes out. And I want to talk about this.
For our new movie, Mercy. What the? Get me out of this chair.
Detective Raven, I'm Judge Maddox, and this is the Mercy Capital Court, a judicial system powered by artificial intelligence.
Hold on, just wait a second.
With crime rates soaring, lawmakers voted for Mercy. By acting as judge, jury, and executioner, Mercy keeps our city safe.
I shouldn't be here. I helped create the Mercy program. I'm proud to have sent the first suspect for trial here, and I will continue to send more until the message is received.
Detective Raven, I know precisely who you are. You're before this court today charged with the murder of your wife.
Oh my God.
Your guilt must fall below the 92% threshold, or you will be executed in precisely 90 minutes.
I loved my wife. I didn't hurt her.
Detective Raven, the city's municipal cloud is at your disposal. Every camera, cell phone, and database. You must gather evidence to exonerate yourself. If you are innocent, prove it.
I need to find out who killed my wife.
It's a classic crime of passion, Chris, and it all points right at you. You don't get the Mercy trial unless you're guilty.
I didn't hurt Mom. I swear to God. Show me everyone she had contact with. She was seeing someone. How's my guilt looking now?
It has risen to 98%. You just provided me with a strong motive of why you murdered her.
Good. Wow. Thank you for that.
Mr. Raven, the clock is ticking.
Tell me what Nick was up to. She was stressed about work.
She said some chemicals are missing.
The estimated street value would be in excess of $16 million.
Do you honestly think that I killed my wife? Or were you just programmed wrong? I need to walk the scene. No, I have something here.
This is a terrorist's handbook.
Get out. Get out of there.
Mr. Raven, you're running out of time.
Chris, what do you got to do? There's a bomb in that truck.
It's heading downtown.
This was never about my wife. This was about me and you. Get me out of here!
So that's the
I
movie
wanna see
Mercy.
that.
that I am making homework for everybody.
That's like goddamn. What's my shit? Tom Cruise's shit.
Minority Report.
Yeah.
Honestly, Chris H got it.
That sounds-
Mercy is a combination of Minority Report and Judge Dredd.
Yes. Good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he says I'm not Michael says I'm not usually enthusiastic about religious movies. Oh, not that kind of Mercy. Yeah, it's not a religious movie.
Mm-mm. Not that kind.
No. This goes into all the different stuff we talk about with pre-crime. This goes into the tech surveillance state. This goes into you saw how the homelessness were all laying in that one street. It's like an exaggerated version of Skid Row. There's a lot of things I can already see going on with that, and AI is another aspect because the judge right there is AI. And also, you saw how basically it plugs into the back of his neck, almost like, is there some kind of implanted technology, or is that just injecting into a vein or a nerve to try to measure his pulse rate or whatever? Whatever is going on is dealing with biohacking. I know it's a lot there that I definitely want us to talk about. So y'all saw January 23rd. That's when it comes out. We will definitely be talking about that one. So y'all got 3 Political Matrix specials coming up. Make sure y'all do your homework. Excuse me. Well, I guess that's all I have. So that said, anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Same shit, different day. Look for my Twitch. Name on my Twitch is Boo Boo Kitty Fucks. I'm gonna be on Blunt Force Wisdom on Monday. And then, like I said, look out for me and Marcus doing like an impromptu pop-up show to talk about our breakdowns and shit. And that's about all I got.
Yeah, I definitely want to get to the point of doing, little pop-ups here and there, even if it's hopping on for about 45 to an hour, So, yeah, look forward to those things, and make sure you guys check me out over there with Lainey and with Warren on Tuesday. I'll be sitting down with them for what their festives, and that's kind of like this holiday for people who don't really celebrate the traditional holidays, and kind of like middle fingers up to all that stuff. So yeah, come and check us out. Make sure you check out Blunt Force Wisdom Monday nights, right? What time?
9:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 Pacific.
Oh yeah, and I got a video I got to work on to get to Tease. I keep forgetting. I got to work on a video and send it over to him for a compilation that he's putting together. I guess that said, thank you all for being here. Much appreciation. Whether you're here at the beginning, whether you just popped in for a moment, or whether you watched the whole show, love and appreciation to all of you guys. And hopefully, you guys have a great and wonderful week. Since I'm not sure I like the throwback to a Roman holiday, though I'm still imperialist. Yeah, I don't celebrate it for many, many reasons. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. All right, everybody, y'all have a great night, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
There is discrimination in this world, and slavery and slaughter and starvation. Governments repress their people. Millions are trapped in poverty, while the nation grows rich, and wealth is lavished on armaments everywhere. These are differing evils, but they are the common works of man. They reflect the imperfection of human justice, the inadequacy of human compassion, our lack of sensibility towards the suffering of our fellows. But we can perhaps remember, even if only for a time, those who live with us are our brothers, that they share with us the same short moment of life, that they seek as we do, nothing but the chance to live out their lives in purpose and happiness, winning what satisfaction and fulfillment they can.